And my wife is here. Bring this Facebook comments on Facebook. No, I'm not gonna do it. She was, are you serious? I went, no, because I already know I'm not gonna like what I see. Every rash. But if I go in there and try to defend someone else in the back and back, it's just gonna be, you're gonna have to do this.
I'm on vacation.
It wasn't, listen, I won't go back with you. Even after Carson.
I read about it, but I haven't been let me tell you.
But I still do hear my heart.
Carson Turner's on.
Might have not been right.
Carson Turner's on.
Yeah, he's been, but you know what?
My process, the original process was wrong.
But let me tell you.
Crashes, that's
There you go, you're going.
that doesn't bother me.
What are you gonna
Garcia did a jump.
Hey? I see you. Oh, thank you. Hold on, Winnie. Gracias a Dios. Ese tiempo no lo oye. Yo no sabía que tú lo oyes. Yo paso por una pintura. Que no se ve como ninguna parte. Veo aquí todo el mundo. Sí, sí, sí. Sí, para todo el mundo, ahora sí estamos bien. Oh,
Good evening, everyone. Let's bring this meeting to order. If we would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, the flag right behind us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For reciting anything before we say?
Thank you for coming once again. With that being said, Vice Chair, can you please enlighten us once again what we are actually in charge of Central County Water
Central
Control
County
District?
Water District, mowing, recreation, and water.
Those are the three most important things that delineates us from Henry County. Thank you. You can be seated.
I gotta get that fine.
Becky, you want to do roll call?
Yes, sir. Here?
Here, present.
C4?
Present.
Supervisor Alvarez? C3?
Here.
District Treasurer?
Here.
District Engineer?
Here.
District Manager?
Here.
District Attorney?
Here.
C2, Supervisor Santiago excused himself, he is out of town.
Understood.
Everybody else is present and accounted for.
Thank you. If you plan on speaking this evening or putting a comments, I've had a few phone calls, so I think there's a few people that are going to comment this evening. Please make sure to get with Becky, fill out your comment card. I think she pretty much, so we can get through that in the beginning. So just in case. So we have one here on the table. With that being said, all right. Do we have any adoptions, deletions, or substitutions of any of the agenda items, board? Or subject matter expert?
She should have sent y'all something, I don't know if that would, where that would fall.
I have something.
Sir.
No, so we don't have any adoptions of the agenda. John, any comments on that? All right. With that being said, can we get an approval from the regular board meeting minutes for December 16th, 2020?
Come on.
We have a motion on the floor. We have a second. All in favor? Aye. The meeting minutes are approved for December 16th, 2020. At this present time, we're going to take public comment. County Commissioner Raymond Iglesias, the floor is yours if you can stand. Thank you for coming as well.
Thank you for having me. So I just wanted to come and bring an update on a few things that the county and myself have been working on. But first of all, Mr. Bennett and your staff has been working with the county in order to get a grant from the DEO of the state of Florida. And Monday, you guys were awarded $1.6 million for drainage. Mr. Bennett, I can tell you that after talking to Tamara today, after I asked for the information, she said that you were a big help whenever the DEO met with staff here. So, thank you.
I got a question, Mr.
Yes, sir.
The drainage also goes under the clubhouse, right?
I can answer that question. That'll be Mr. Bennett that can answer that. Don't talk to me about scope of work or anything. That gentleman there can help.
I know, I just.
It will be administered through Shane's department and Mr. Bennett, and they'll start facilitating that soon.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we got a water leak under here. We got a water leak under the clubhouse.
Well, that's something else. As per the request of Chairman Mata, I met with him on 833 and South Hunting Club. There's an area there as you're coming off South Hunting Club onto 833, and then again on Montour Avenue onto 833. As you're turning that curve, there's a nice drop off the asphalt. Here in the next 2 weeks, Shane's Department of Building and Road and Bridge will be out here addressing that. Although it's more of a flagpole issue, not my district, but I feel that our constituents go down that road, and I represent the whole county.
Yes.
At the end of Flagpole Road in 27, the Marl area, the right-of-way, mostly on the right side.
Yes, sir.
There's a nice steep drop-off as well. They're going to be filling that in hopefully in the next couple of weeks. We're hoping by the end of this month.
That also destroys the asphalt as it goes.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a good idea to keep it up.
Yeah. That was brought up to me by Mrs. Barnes from Taft Boulevard. As you know, we had to cancel the Montour Land Use Study meeting. I think it was on the 16th due to unforeseen reasons. I talked to Margaret today to see if she had another date. I wanted to announce the date tonight. That's not going to happen, but her goal is to have it booked and finalized. Her goal is to probably have it at the end of February.
Okay.
She's just trying to find a lockdown. So the mailboxes, so I know you guys have been struggling with your residents about mailboxes. Y'all hear a lot of complaints. During the Christmas giveaway, I was able to address the door problem that they had, which was very minor.
Yes, sir.
I talked to Joanne. She's got 1,040 boxes there. I asked her, so what do you think you need? And that number in her mind was 2,000. I don't like that, just for the simple fact that she just kind of rolled off her tongue.
Okay.
So long story short, in the December 8th County Commission meeting, it was brought up in Business by District that each county commissioner in Hendrick County is having the same problems with mailboxes. And what it amounts to is this: the post office, they don't want to pay for it.
Exactly.
You dealt with it for a long time. And in all reality, the post office is a business. And as people continue to email and buy packages that come in through FedEx, that money's coming out of their revenue stream. So I don't foresee them doing a whole lot, but they need to stay engaged. At our January 16th and 15th meeting, Mark Lapp is going to, which is our county attorney, is looking into a title search on the property where the current mailboxes are at.
Correct.
It's more of a formality. We need to know who it belongs to and whatnot. I've spoken to Margaret. They cannot find a permit on that structure. The last permit they see was on the Montour Clubhouse, I believe back in don't quote me, 70-ish, 73, when the pool was put in. So they may not have updated information, as you guys don't have updated information as to what transpired with that. Long story short is this: our goal with the county is, we know that maybe it's not really our responsibility, but we do feel there's a responsibility to the constituents, so we're going to do whatever it takes to try to help out. I can't guarantee anything, but it looks like we have the full board support moving forward that we're going to have to address these mailboxes.
Thank you, sir.
Great
You think, excuse me, you
Yeah.
think back in the days they might have dedicated it to us?
There's no telling. I mean, I can't imagine. I would think that back then when the post office put it in, it was their structure, and that's the way it is. Now, the language that you sent me, I think, said that in 2013, the postmaster stated that developers were responsible for mailboxes in the communities. That's great, but that's 2013, not back in the 60s or 70s when Montour was built, you know. And then we want to look at and make sure it's not going to be an issue that what is that right number? So Shane reached out to the postmaster, Ms. Ruth Nall in Pulston. They couldn't get together. I reached out to her yesterday, gave her Shane's number and said, make sure you get a hold of him. Just to have a conversation, she's gonna get, I think, with the property appraiser's office to find out how many people actually live out here. You know, what is the projected growth, and kind of come up with a number that, what can be done.
Okay.
It might be a joint effort, it might be you guys, the county, some other outside people, but it's being worked on. And as you guys know in government, nothing happens fast. And I can tell you that on my watch, that doesn't go very well. I'm trying to be very calm going in, but before too long, things will have to change. Not necessarily on this, but in general.
Appreciate that.
Garbage complaints I've seen on Facebook, which Facebook isn't somewhere you want to get your news at. Sometimes it is beneficial, many times it's not. However, I will say during the Christmas holidays, there was issues with garbage pickup, so I reached out, I called Waste Management myself. I talked to somebody that's new. He's the new guy on the block, new manager, gave me his personal cell phone. And what I derived from that is he's new in management, comes in and wants to kind of figure out how to save costs and change the way routes need to be, and kind of overstepped his boundaries and didn't realize the system that they had in place before was actually working.
Right.
You know, I reached out, besides that, I reached out to our special district manager, Tommy Vaughn, who's over that. And I said, on Monday, I called him, I said, can you follow up and see where they're at? And sure enough, so he went back through complaints. So to give you an idea, at the time that we spoke through, I think the quarter started October 1.
Yes.
They had 56 complaints, okay, up till the day I talked to him, which would have been, you know, right around the first of the year. For the whole year last year was 165. So it told him that there was definitely something going on. Now, since then, I have not seen anything on Facebook. My point is this, if, I'm sorry, what was your name?
Becky.
Becky, if you get calls at your office, which I know that you're not responsible for the garbage, but if you get calls and that people are complaining about certain things that are county related, please don't just get some information, get it to me, I'll get it to the right people, but working together, we're gonna resolve more than just shoving it around. You follow me?
And we agree with that, but we have to work together. We can't carry the load.
I said that.
Yeah,
I'm clear about that.
I know you're clear, but I like to say it because in the past, it's been here, it's like the post office.
I'm
Here,
good.
y'all get it.
I'm not.
We can't get it.
I get it, but I'm gonna tell you, I don't look in the past. I wanna
That's
look
right.
in the future.
I look for the future too, but I don't forget the past. Because that helps you do better in the future.
Yeah.
Remember that. I won't charge you
So
for
are we
that.
logging these phone calls down? Are we logging them down?
I've spoken with Mr. Vaughn,
Bond?
yeah, and I have an ongoing list, a call list. Most of the ones that I get are for like, right now, it's just been like dumpsters that they need to get from them.
Yeah.
It hasn't been an official complaint,
Right.
as they're not picking up trash. Some of them just come and they, you know, if it's bulk trash,
Yeah,
they've come to our dumpsters.
yeah.
You know, and so it's not about not picking up. The only one I did get like that was this week, which was Mr. Gill, which he officially lives in Fort Lauderdale, and he comes on the weekend, and they haven't been able to get into
His property?
his road. But that's because they got stuck several times. Whatever they used, they dug up the road. So now it's a big sand pit, and it's something that we have to address tomorrow, between tomorrow and Friday. And that was the only thing. But again, I mean, I haven't had a lot of complaints.
But
Some of them have been, and I know
what
what
I
you're
see is
saying.
most people just want to complain on social media.
Yeah.
But they never address it in the manner that it needs to be addressed, and everyone's willing to help, but guess what? Can't fix it, something that you don't know is broken, so.
And they go straight to social media, will be the first gateway.
If it's Facebook, I don't pay no attention to
Yeah.
it.
Well, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but unfortunately, it's a tool. I actually get to read it. Now granted, that one there, I had Randall Kelly reach out to me after I'd seen some comments, because at first I thought they might have been isolated incidents. And then once you start talking to different people, you realize it's not. And then following up with Tommy, you realize something's changed internally, and that's what was causing it. So, but I think so far it's gotten better.
Good.
The last thing I'd like to bring up is 833.
This is a sore subject between you and I, looking into it, but once again, things continue to get prolonged. I am going to read it, kind of what the scope of work is, just because I want to get it right. So, Highway 833 is in the design process now with the DOT, and it has gotten, COVID has, lengthened that process. The FDOT is funding the design, permitting, and construction of safety improvements to 3 county roads, which are County Road 833, 835, and 846. And I'm going to focus on 833 because I feel that's what we're looking at here. So from State Road 80 southward to Powerline Grade and Orange Gate, installation of new pavement markings, striping, ground-in rumble strips that'll be on the white edge of the side of the road, and reflective pavement markings, okay? The guardrail, they're gonna put a guardrail up parallel to the canal, okay? Which doesn't exist now, is that correct?
In a small.
It's an area,
Okay.
well, there's little bridges, I think is where they got it.
So guardrail on the west side of County Road 833 adjacent to the canal, culvert extensions and upgrade some bridge railings. And then they're working on 835 and 846. But the important thing is going through, unfortunately it's not going through as fast as I'd like, for the simple fact that Madeline Garcia sent me a video showing how dark it was at night. My thought was, until the DOT gets to this point, is there any way we can go in and put reflectors out and do something? There it goes back to that cost thing, and I'm going to continue to push that, because if there's anything that we can do to help save one life, I'm all for it. But it's just, we got to just keep pushing, so.
Raymond, can I interrupt just one second?
Yes, sir.
When you guys mentioned 833, I look at contracts all the time, and you got to get into detail. 833 is probably 20 miles long,
Okay.
and sometimes between Pinecone and Appaloosa, is that area included?
Okay, so County Road 833 from State Road 80 southward to Powerline Grade and Orange Gate, so I don't know where that
That's up there.
files.
That's up there.
Okay, then,
Cover in front of here.
You mentioned last
and then from US 27, State Road 80 southward to 833, forget that, the 5 curves. All right, here.
We're not in that.
Hold on. Also, the county is working on invitation to bid.
80 to the power line is
Right there with the
That's
road.
right.
No, but there's more. They got another section they're gonna do that I think is county from Keywright on towards Orange Gate. Okay, so there's 2 different deals. So the DOT's doing one project and the county's gonna do the other. So
Understood. Good.
let me just clear that up. Also, the county is working on an invitation to bid for the installation of new pavement markings and reflective pavement markings on County Road 833. Yes, from Orange Gate southward to Keywright.
Good. You're right. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate
All right,
it.
so my goal is you're not gonna see me every month. When I get we continue to communicate. Every board member here has my number. You guys have a problem, you reach out to me. The constituents have my number. Periodically, I'll show up and I want to give you almost like a State of the Union type deal. I want to give you the state of where we're at on multiple projects and try to move forward. You and I are working on some budget issues and I was on the phone prior to that, working on that. Now, I'm going to bring it up. So now that you got $1.6 million to do some of this drainage, are you able to funnel some of that money towards maybe some, I'm going to throw it out there, some road projects?
I don't know, brother, let's see. That's why I asked you
I
about the
don't know on
drainage.
that one.
That's what I wanted to know, is I guess if there's water under the road, maybe we can, it's all about the water.
Thank you, Raymond.
All right, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Also, this is a great milestone that I don't think we've done in a long time, is we working cohesively and working together, cooperating with the Hendry County. And when we work together, great things like this can happen, 1.6 million, because we don't have those resources in-house, correct?
Oh,
So
yeah.
this is what happens when it's not perfect, neither is Central County, but when you work together, things work out for the good, and I appreciate you and your staff and what you do here, because great things have happened, and we appreciate you.
Well, I just want to be clear about that 1.6. So I was not involved at all. That you guys have worked on that since June with the county. So
With the county.
Our staff in LaBelle,
Yes.
Mr. Bennett here with you guys, they take all the credit. I'm just here as a messenger to relay that message to
I
you guys.
understand.
Hey,
So you need to contact, we
listen.
need 2.6 from you.
Make sure the woman listen.
I was pushing 360. I'll settle with 2.6.
Make sure they listen.
Diga.
I would like to relate to you the message of many of the residents of Montura Ranch Estates. I really worry about this animal resource restriction, okay? And I want to relate it to you. Like I stated before, you know, my position on that. Many people have sold the houses, the property in different places, South Florida, different places, New York, New Jersey, Chicago, whatever, big cities. You come over here to have the little farms, and we also have animals, okay?
Yep.
And one thing that unites all the Montura residents, or most, in my area, maybe 80%, 90%, 75% of the Montura residents, is that we love the woods, we love animals, that's why we're here. So I want you to talk to the commission.
And I understand that, and I want you to understand that I speak Spanish, and I've been able to speak to many people. We want to do what's right, we want to do what's fair, and we want to do what's safe for everybody. That being said, remember when they came out with that structure of the amount of animals that they were proposing, that is a working document. It's a negotiation, you go back and forth. I can say that I don't think that just saying unlimited is that magic number. I think there needs to be something there, and I think the whole board would see it that way. But please understand, don't be offended. Work with them, come up with something, come up with solutions, come up with ideas. It's not a dictatorship. It's not to say, it's gonna be 15 chickens, you're gonna take it or leave it. That's not what they're wanting. That's the whole purpose of doing the study. It's a continued work in progress. But to come in and just say, it's only gonna be this, it's gotta be, we're playing tug of war, right? We both have to decide what's good for everybody, not just what's good for one person.
And they came up with that number, those numbers that they came up with after speaking to Margaret, I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because of the survey, the people actually did fill out here, and that's how they came up with those numbers now. Now, they do want a balance. That's what they're asking for.
Right.
They need a balance.
But they didn't tell us, that there was gonna be a survey. That information is what was gonna go in that direction. They told us and told us and told us and told us. There's the survey, there you go, and then the people did not participate, now they wanna cry. Well, they should have done how they were instructed. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but I
But
had to
one,
get that out.
when that meeting happens in February, come back and go,
No,
okay.
sure.
Because they're gonna come,
I'm gonna be there.
I know you're gonna be there, but what I'm saying is, they're gonna come back, the consultant and Margaret are gonna come back and say, hey, now we're gonna propose this. And I'm sure what's gonna happen, people are gonna look at those numbers and go, no, don't want it, no, gotta be unlimited. But we know that's not realistic, so come up with your own options. Hey, maybe it needs to be 30 chickens, it needs to be 45 chickens, it needs to be 50 chickens. What is that number? But to say unlimited, I think that's gonna hang you up. So come up with something that's workable and maybe multiple options, so it's a negotiation, is what I'm trying to get to, okay?
I'm gonna go to some of the professional people in the industry
Absolutely.
about animals and all that.
Sure, that's
and see, you know, if we can get into a fair.
And let me say something real quick.
Yes.
So I reached out to somebody at IFAS, at University of Florida, that's a friend of mine, and I said, she used to work for me. And I asked her, because growing up in Hendrick County, I always heard 1 head of cattle for every acre. How many times have you heard that?
No, there's a formula.
Guess what?
There's no doubt about it.
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
It's 3 to 5 acres. When
Yeah.
she told me that, I was
It's more
blown out
acres,
of my
less
mind.
cows, yeah.
It has to do with you sectioning off your land, having the right nutrients for them to eat, so not just hay,
Soil
but
type,
hay
soil
and grass. She went on and on, it
Yes.
was all Chinese to me.
Soil
But my
type.
whole life, I'd heard
Yeah.
1 acre of land.
That
So
could be in the
you-
muck,
you know,
not over here in the sand.
you
The
know.
sand, that number's gonna
So
be.
it really opened up, to
Yeah.
me, kind of a can of worms. I said, well, let's leave that to the side, because I don't want to bring that up.
Thank you.
All right?
Yeah, can I say one thing?
Yes,
before
go
you're
ahead.
done?
Go right ahead.
I think there's confusion too. I've heard many of the complaints that you have. If you look at the code today, forget about the
Thank you.
changes. It doesn't allow much of what's going on today.
Exactly.
Because there's no code enforcement
Right.
in Montura, people believe, oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
If you look, and that's why you need to, have the staff explain to people what's on the books today. The change, the delta, is not that big.
Right.
But again, it's the perception that if there was code enforcement here, a lot of what's going on today would be stopped.
So we should work on the verbiage. And the language as well.
Also, a lot of us that come to Montura think that an acre and a quarter is a ranch. An acre and a quarter is not a ranch.
Oh, for me, sir.
But I will say.
An acre and a quarter is not a ranch.
But think about what you just said.
What's that?
The developers, the Pan American group that founded Montura, painted that picture as a ranch.
And I have their original brochure, and they also said it was next to the lake, but hey, you know, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? I have the original brochure.
Only original selling. People that are selling land right now, they're advertising. There is no limitation on money.
Because that's on the books.
You can have as many animals as you want. That's what they're selling right now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's on the book, but there's a
People are selling the properties and coming over here with that idea.
Well, they're lying. Hey, we're not responsible for
Oh,
what
we're
we're
responsible, but the
If you
reality.
read the old code,
Thank you.
just as he said, is what I wanted to say. If you read the old code, there's already limitations. You just can't grow 40 hogs on an acre and a quarter like people are doing.
Right.
And by the way, who wants to live next to a hellhole like that, by the way? Who wants to live? You want to buy property, build a nice house, and like put 50 hogs next to your house? Come on, people. Let's be realistic.
So watch this. Wrong meeting. We're gonna move forward with Central County business. Thank you, guys. And again, that's a good meeting coming up, and a lot of people are concerned. A lot of people have questions, so we thank you guys for being open and listen to our constituents as well as myself. I'm a constituent. I live out here too. So a lot of us have a lot to gain, lose. It's not gonna work for everybody. I'm not gonna probably like it either, but again, I'm fine with it now, but I know a lot of people, that's what Carlos said, moved out here. This is what they said, but I also believe in taking care of your animals. I believe in that wholeheartedly. I get a lot of calls, and I said that has nothing to do with me. So we're going to move on. Next on the...
Hey, but Juan, on those people, don't give them my number on that one.
No, for sure.
Just very quickly, sir. Very quickly, sir.
Go ahead.
You're right. A lot of people have moved out here to put to the La Finca on an acre and a quarter to put 50 hogs, 30 goats, and that's ridiculous.
I told them to buy by you.
And it's here. It's here. It's been here. The old code does not allow it, but this has been the ass of the world. Nobody's cared. Now it's time to change it. Nobody wants to invest money and buy property to have that mess beside it. I'll say it one more time.
Wait, excuse me.
Hold on, guys. You see what... So we're going to move forward.
There's places here that have them.
Guys, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
There's places
I'm going to ask staff to dismiss. Next one. Thank you. It's a very good topic. Y'all can go on Facebook and talk about
I'm not going to.
it. Raymond Gonzalez. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Iglesias.
Good stuff. Thank
Where
you.
they going?
Just here to ask for the easement on the 115 Avenida del Sur.
115, okay. 115, can you be a little more specific, please?
The alley at
So you reached out to the county? Have you reached out to the county, Mr. Gonzalez?
yeah, they told me to come to you guys, and you guys were the ones that were issuing if we could or not.
Avenue del Sur, can you speak a little bit on that?
Which easement is that one?
The alleyway that's in the side of,
He is talking about...
You're talking about the swell?
No, sir,
No,
it's an
sorry.
easement. If I'm not mistaken,
Is that the one back here by,
That's correct.
Mary Lou's?
by 833.
Yeah, by
Oh, by
833.
833.
The same thing,
Yes,
Mrs.,
that's the 20 feet,
she's also here
Yes.
for that too.
20 feet.
So it's 20 feet, so that I would assume that's 10 on each side then. 10
From,
each.
from Pine Cone.
Yes, sir.
All the way down through Montura, there's a 20 feet easement or
Yes.
alley between the 2.5 acres
Yes, sir.
that goes to 833 and the fresh property
Right.
right next to it. That's 20 feet.
That was what's platted, Mr. Bennett, if I'm not mistaken, many years ago. That's what was platted where the water plant or pipeline and all that infrastructure was gonna go, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Gonzalez, what is your question to the board? Sorry.
If we could go ahead and use that fence that up, that lot up,
Use it how, sir? Sorry.
just for a house. We're gonna build a house there, we're gonna build, now I found out it's maybe commercial lot, so I might build a Rainbow, an AC company there.
Okay.
Or an AC supply house.
So how does the board feel about granting access to that easement? It's how much is it?
It's 10 feet.
But when you, I'm sorry, when you say you wanna build, You say you wanna build in the easement?
No, I
You
want.
just wanna use the
Yeah,
easement
yeah.
as an in and out?
Yeah, I know, I can't use it, I know, if I have easement in Miami, you can't use it, you can't
Correct.
build on it, but you could use it until you guys need it.
So you won't fence it? You're not gonna fence it, you're just gonna drive on it?
No, I'm gonna fence around the property so we can have the fence on that, there.
Well, I'm sorry, but my thing is, have you brought a proposal? I have a business card. Do we have a proposal, anything visual I can see, anything I can move forward with?
So
We can call?
sir, we can do this, but we gotta have, can't do it.
Right,
It's not gonna happen.
today's not gonna happen.
So you need to submit a site plan, you have a site plan, right?
But, yeah,
Perfect. That survey shows the easement.
yeah, correct.
Okay, and so the county, you're getting your building permit, the county flagged it.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, they didn't flag it, I haven't pulled permits or anything yet, I'm just trying to get that so then I can start doing the fence.
because this is the, so all you need is, what you're asking is
Permission to pour a fence across there.
to allow a fence line.
Yes.
Okay, and in your survey, does it show where the fence line will be?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, it showed where the fence line itself is at? I haven't drawn, I don't draw these yet. That's gonna be in half, because I know you can use half of this alleyway here.
But if anything happens, it's responsibility because it's.
No, wait a minute, what do you think, guys? This last meeting, this last two meetings, we approved for the other gentleman to have access to an easement.
I was gonna ask that question.
It's no different.
Hold on, we agreed, he had two lots like this,
Yes,
had an
sir.
easement through the middle.
That's correct.
We agreed he could put gates on it, and the minute we need to run through there, he's gotta open the gates.
Yeah.
This is gonna be tearing down the fence.
I'm not sure.
No, there's no fence, there's nothing there.
But you wanna put one there.
I wanna put a fence.
Right, so if we have to have it,
You're tearing it down, yeah.
the
because
only way I would agree to it is I want it signed, sealed, notarized, and double signed.
That's fine.
And the minute we gotta get it, the machine comes in and nails it down.
Let me ask you, Mr. Gonzalez, you know that we literally can't physically turn it over to you, right?
Yeah, no, we borrow it only, it's
So-
okay, borrow it.
So the way it would be done would be,
Go ahead, John.
we issue him a license agreement.
Okay.
Easements get recorded, they're forever.
Yes, sir.
The license has a beginning and an end.
Good.
It can be revoked at any time for
Okay.
any reason.
Okay.
So, and that's not uncommon if you don't have an immediate use for the right of way. right?
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
The easement that he's asking for, almost every lot on 833 is a commercial lot, right?
No.
No, well, I know, but some of them are. Now,
Yes.
and I'm not against it, and I have.
No. Say what you gotta say. I heard about that.
My question is, for example, if somebody buy the lot right next to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he decide to come over here to ask you guys to use it just as a drive in and out,
Mhm.
and you guys already approved for him to fence it, then how?
But he, again, like what John just said, he knows that that easement belongs to,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, but what he's saying is, if the person next to him wants to come through there, he's already got it fenced in, he can't.
Guys, we need to think about the
What
proposal.
kind of easement is it?
It's 20 feet.
It's a 20-foot easement.
Is
For
it
example.
Utility easement, right of way easement?
It was,
Fire department, what happens on these places? Anything we need to get, fire department. If fire department is to get,
Okay, so it's a utility
We agree
easement.
to him, everybody else.
for everybody else, but we need to figure it.
We've already agreed to somebody, we've already agreed to, nobody that's come up like this gentleman have we disagreed with.
Right, the only one I've seen was the one that
Well,
put two properties
the
together.
only one I know of
The
is
gates.
the guy that was, property was bisected by the.
right, but that
We
one,
had gates there, you can open them, we can go right through that.
yeah, but
Don't worry.
that easement is different. The DOT is not gonna allow any traffic because it's only 10 feet,
Right.
and that's through the properties.
Right.
This one is different. This one has nothing to do with the properties. It goes between one property and the other one, all the way.
I would like to look at it before I say.
I need to look at it.
That's fine.
I want to look at it.
No, fine. John, can you get his information?
Send us a copy of the survey?
If you want, leave one with you and I'll pick one up
Please,
later
that
on.
would be good.
They gave me five.
And everything in detail, we want detail, because again, that's the same thing that's happening in Montour for so many years. People keep doing it, and when we're gonna call back and say, hey,
But one we do, nothing against
I'll get them back, right?
This one I'm talking about is different. It was piece of property, with some gates, and they can be open.
But it's not that,
Right my
Well,
direct
again, I
number, my
look at
direct
the,
email.
I look at the glass half full.
It is a good idea, so for
Come on,
example,
yes.
if somebody buy the property right next to it.
Yes, sir.
And make it, a grocery store, for example.
Yes.
And the engineer is doing it as a, coming in from 833.
Yes, sir.
And having an exit through that easement into Avenida del Club.
Yes, sir.
And then his part of the easement is gonna be gated.
Right.
So that's not gonna be possible for anybody else.
So just to bring
You know
something,
what I mean?
right, so just to bring something, so you guys know, everything on 833 is not commercial, all right? So with this land study survey and the changes that are coming, they're not going to allow us to come to all our business from 833. You know that, correct?
Right, yes.
So eventually, we're going to have to, but again, so you have to understand this as well as a board. How are they going to construct if we don't allow them access?
I just want, all I want to do is go up there and look at it. I want to see it.
So again, I don't think it's a harmony foul, but I mean, again, we'll look at it, but he has to know that at the end of the day,
Right.
that's not his 10 feet. Because I'm assuming the other 10 feet is the other property owner. He can't, yes, sir. He doesn't own the 20 feet.
No, just 10 feet. 10 feet supposed to be for me and 10 feet for the neighbor.
Exactly. That's how the easements work.
Yeah.
Right, Mr. Bennett?
But he just wants his house. He wants to fence in his house.
He can't fence it, he can't fence it. Exactly.
Fencing the 20.
No, he's not answering your question.
Right, that's why I need your surveyor to put the fence line on the survey. He can do it, because he has this in CAD.
Yeah, I can call him.
And then, because what this is gonna be is my exhibit to the license we give you. I'm gonna say, here's the exhibit, boom.
Okay. Yeah, Miami, I have a house, my house that has 12 feet east bank to the back. There used to be an alley there, but just a floor around the lake. They gave it to us to use it, we can't build anything on it. We can use it, make some chairs and stuff like
This
that.
is his property, most likely.
I know that.
He's asking for a blood. It's his, but it's not his. He can't go from his property. Thank you, our attorney will look into it.
Thank you.
We're not dismissing.
Hey, get back to
We're
you.
gonna go ahead and look into it, okay,
Well,
Gonzalez?
the other thing is, the board really wants to make sure they cross out, as they said, they have every right to, want to make sure that they have all the information and they make the right decision. Well, we make the right decision. Because again, he would hate for you to invest all that money and in 2 months, hey, by the way, Mr. Gonzalez, you're gonna have to tear it down.
Okay, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Josh? All right, Josh doesn't want to speak tonight, thank you. No, I'm just saying. Ms. Lucetta Plunkett, the floor is yours.
Okay. Good. I have a little bit, same thing. I'm Lucetta. My land is on 8644 CR 833.
8644, County Road 833.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I am going in to do a little plaza there. It's going to be a little plaza with a little farmers market kind of stuff indoor, with grocery along with it. And I already did the meeting for the county. And what I need while I'm constructing is I need permission to clear the easement from, the easement is on,
She needs to clear the easement from Avenida del Club
Yes.
all the way to her property.
yes.
Avenida del Club.
She's a good example.
Yeah.
She's a good example of what I was talking about.
Did she buy the Naranjo property?
No. So let's say if Naranjo Properties is commercial, for example, if
Yes,
it's
it
commercial,
is.
and he's asking for that easement, she's not gonna be able to have the in and out through the easement into her property.
So she is right beside Naranjo as we speak there.
Exactly, right next to it. That's what I was talking about. That's a
That's the
good example.
same, that's the
Same alley,
same
same
alleyway he's talking about.
No, it's the same alley, but there's a canal between me and him,
Right,
between me
yeah.
and there.
But she wants to clear it, he wants to fence it.
Yeah.
Two different
I
things.
understand.
Yeah, clear it.
I want to clear it and grade it
This is the alley.
and put lime rock, so there's not mud when we drive along it.
So esa avenida del club,
That sounds great, but I think we should go out there and look at it as well.
Yeah.
Okay? We'll be out
so
there.
esa avenida del club,
Oh, if you guys want to go out there and look at it, I would suggest
You can have
you guys
that, but we
have
have to
Mr. Bennett
serve.
over here to go and do a survey before, because that's a, I mean, that's a.
How long is the
Just
road?
a general, I just want a general, I just want to look.
Okay.
It's only 2 lot length from Avenida del Sur to the canal. My lot is Avenida del Club. And then Avenida del Club. So it stops at the canal, so it's just that from there to the canal. Those 2 lots in the front is commercial, and the lot in the back is commercial.
Okay, so Naranjo property,
Yes, sir.
2.5 acres.
Yes, sir.
Most of them are wetland, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Correct.
Their property goes from Avenida del Club to the next canal. It's another 2.5 acres.
Understood.
Right beside Naranjo property.
Understood. Mr. Bennett, do you have any question? Mr. Bennett is our engineer. Mr. John Famero is our attorney. Do you have any questions concerned with the stuff that they've said? Well, I mean, we'd like your input. Of course, we're not gonna hold you on such a short notice, but
You can keep that, sir.
You're actually working with Ms. Monken on this.
oh, okay, you're working on this one with it. Okay. What's your opinion? What's your professional opinion and idea with this? Hold on, everybody. I can barely hear it.
Get the mic. Microphone.
Mr. Bennett,
Yeah, the thing and everything.
we're putting all that already, right? Everything she's doing, we're putting all that already.
That's all going through the county. I already have a meeting with them. That's my notes from my meeting that I had.
What she's wanting to do is to clear the alley that runs from Del Club to the canal. And that would be like a back entrance to her property for someone to service the dumpster or that kind of thing. It's not going to be a main entrance to her project, but it would be an access for servicing a dumpster or making a delivery or something like that.
Fire department could come through
Terrific.
there.
That's, I love the idea, but the residents behind you, that is a private lot behind you.
Yes.
After the 20 feet. The 20 feet is an easement.
Right, okay, so the residents behind you, is that purchased already? Is it clear, is it clean, is there someone living there?
There's, one of them is a vacant lot and the other one, somebody has like a little temporary thing on there. Yeah.
Here's the 3 lots it shows you. There's the lot.
I think it's beneficial for us to have that cleared up. I mean,
Oh, I'm 100%, yes.
So it's pretty beneficial to us to have that road cleared, paved, or
It's not a road.
Right?
It's not a road, it's a easement.
But
She wanna make it into a road.
But it's a 20-foot road, right? 20-foot.
Yeah, 20-foot easement.
It's actually called an alley.
Alley, yes, it's an alley. We have them in Naples. On most, all the commercial lots, they have an alley in the back.
You know when you go in town, MCM, you go into 27 and you can get out through the alley.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what you wanna do.
Listen, excuse me. Ms. Plunkett, let me ask you one thing. As you're communicating with the county, I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot. I'm just looking at your survey. Thank you, Mr. Bennett. I see your stamp on here. Appreciate it. Are they most likely going to give you access from 833, or are they going to try to
So
push?
833 is gonna be my main entrance.
Okay.
That back alley there is just gonna be an alley for delivery, the fire department, emergency.
So-
If there's a big accident on 833, people are not stuck in the plaza. They can drive out the back and go on
Understood.
via the Del Club.
Understood.
I mean, like, if there's a bomb threat or something, we could go.
Understood.
We need it.
Where do you want to have the plaza?
Right there.
Jackie, this property. So
Are we out with Henry County and the entrance?
I'm not sure if she would have that
The
in
entrance is off 833. I have it right here.
Where are you at with them?
permitting. That's what he's asking. Oh, okay.
We're permitted for, yes, I had the first meeting, so they're waiting on some paperwork from us.
So and again, I'm not trying to, I see your entrance from 833. Is this like a makeshift roadway or something right here?
Well, see, This is the buildings.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I'm coming in from 833 and
Yes.
I'm coming right here in the alley.
Straight through.
Yes, so we'll be able to go straight through now.
So when you exit, you would be exiting your property and going left, like if you were going to Avenida del Club.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But that is a private exit. It's not for customer to use. That's an
Understood.
emergency exit. It's not like, not unless we get to the part where it's permitted that it's going to be a permanent alley.
Understood.
And it can be used by the public.
Understood.
So right now, I'm
Yes.
using it for construction, and if we want later on to build, make the road paved.
Understood.
Then customers could use it instead of using 833, since 833 is a two-way highway.
Right.
I mean, it's not a four-way highway. So it would be good to have some of the traffic flow coming in the back in an emergency.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you.
Yes.
For bringing that idea, bringing that business to Montura. Okay, we've much needed it for a very long time. I'm pretty sure many are going to be super happy. As you start building, there is going to be more traffic in that back road, okay? Just more. One more than another is more, okay? Now, at the end of that street, there is a canal.
Yes.
We're going to need to berm that canal, bring it higher, because I would hesitate for somebody to miss your store
Yes.
and driving through that canal.
Yes.
So if we could go ahead and bring that levee higher,
Yes.
it's just a safety issue.
Pump
You gotta have
service
that.
delineated right now.
Yeah.
and pump it.
So I would like for that,
Go right ahead.
that road, if we approve it, I would like for that end of the road with the canal, I need that berm higher, because I would hesitate to see somebody fall in that canal.
Yeah,
Especially now.
or
with the
maybe
canal
even
next to it.
fence it or something like that.
Yeah. Supervisor Alvarez, you have a question?
What, I got a concern. If that alley's gonna be cleaned up and fixed up, I'm thinking maybe we ought to do it, because we're gonna be liable for what we let anyone do on it anyway. Is there anything there that you think we need to know about? I mean, she's willing to do it, and we can very easily say, go ahead. But obviously, there's gonna be a standard that we won't follow, but what do you think?
So,
I'm not so sure we should just.
if we're gonna issue a license, there's gonna be standard language there where she would be indemnifying us and naming the district as a co-insured, because if they're gonna be, and I'm not familiar with this property, these guys are, but is there gonna be, is it just for aesthetics, or is it gonna be parking?
She just,
Are people gonna be walking there?
When they could, if it's there, I'm sure we're not gonna be able to stop people from walking out of the plaza and walking back there. So I'm sure there'll be people that walk across to the gas station.
this is
Are you
833.
gonna have that, are you gonna have that back fence with gates? So
If
the way people driving through?
If that's all I have to do it, I would rather not, just because I am thinking about 833 being busy with, 18-wheelers and people coming in. If it's an emergency, I would like people to be able to run up the back and run and have it, their car drive out. So if I don't have to fence it, I wouldn't. And if I do, I would probably put a fence there with big gates that can be rolled open fast and roll away.
You just gave me exactly what I was looking at.
Okay.
There's gonna be a heavier traffic on your road because a lot of people are gonna avoid.
Yes.
Residents like myself, I'd rather go through the back.
Yeah.
Instead of coming in through 833.
Yeah.
So if I miss your entrance, I won't end up in that canal because Montura is not that well lit either, okay? And that's what I want to avoid. And going back to what Mr. Benning said, yes, we need to look at what responsibilities we have and, what's our liability on.
I agree.
There's gonna be a lot more traffic down that street. It's not just
Well, it
gonna
would be
be.
better if you do it like the manager said.
Gotcha. Mr. Bennett, any comments, concerns, questions for us? And as well as John, can you work on this something so they can, both people that have brought their,
Let's be clear, it's gonna be
suggestion.
turned into a street, okay?
I'm not sure about
It's gonna be
that.
turned into a street because, like she's mentioned, it's gonna be people coming in and out, in and out, in and out. They're gonna try to avoid 833.
It's early in the process, we still got to go through the county site development plan.
Yes, sir.
Process, there'll be lots of comments from the county here, so we'll take their comments.
But as far as,
As well.
But as far as this 20 foot, that has nothing to do with the county, that's on our part, right?
It's true, it's your jurisdiction, but.
That part, 833 is on them.
Showing it on the site development plan.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Well, excuse me, it's gonna be, grocery store?
It's going to be fruits and vegetables and grocery. So, yes, so it's going to be like fruits, vegetables, grocery. And then it's two buildings, and then a little plaza with a ER, what do you call it?
A Med Express?
Med Express, yes. And couple offices. I think it's space for about 3 other offices. Like a real estate. Yes, I have a multi-service that do taxes. Guy coming in and a real estate office. I'm a real estate broker, so my office will be there. And then we'll have a little urgent care. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And we're gonna try to help you. The board, I'm pretty sure the board's gonna try to help you as best as possible. We just wanna make sure we make the right decision, because we have not made most probably good decisions in the last 40 years or 30 years for the previous boards, and now we're stuck with, for example, the animals today.
Okay.
So we'll do our best as possible.
Okay. Just let me know, because once we start building, I'm gonna need to use that until the right-of-way is built coming in, because we won't have anywhere to do, because of the hill. The way 833 is like a drop down, we would need access while they're clearing the land, because right now, in order for anything to get there, they have to drive through the other guy's lot to go there, because there's trees in the easement. The easement is now occupied by some people.
What about on that? Mr. Chairman, when are you planning on starting? You're more than 30 days away.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we got, I want to look at it, and these gentlemen look at it, and then I'm sure by next meeting we'll have something.
Okay.
Sir, go ahead.
We have a county.
Civilian right now.
Civilian.
Civilian right now.
I just want to clarify, Matt, I have a question about the topic.
Yes, sir.
I'm asking as a civilian, not as a county employee. When you guys decide to whether you are going to let her use the easement or not use the easement, are you going to allow the public to have any say or to discuss it at all? If there's any concerns we may have or problems we may see arise from it?
That is a very good question. And that's the reason I asked. Is there empty lots behind it, or is there residential as well?
There's lots on behind every alley, every road, there's a lot attached to everything.
Get an input on that as well.
That's, go ahead.
To respond to his question, that's why I told this gentleman, we can't vote, we can't walk up and say, here. This has to be on an agenda. And you're gonna get a copy of the agenda, and any member of the public can come up, and if they have a question or concern, when this has to be on a formal agenda and voted on by the board at some point in the future. They can't vote on things off.
And each member have a copy to know the math and what the request is.
Well, we just need to look, we need to look at this very hard, because there's 2,000 more coming. So we have to do what's best for everyone in the near future, because there's not ever been much planning here, because there hasn't been much growth. Now we're getting it, so we have to be careful how we do it. Not that we're not going to help, we're going to help every way we can, but we just have to really look at what we're doing and see how it's going to affect the future for everybody else.
Thank you. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
I have a question for you, I have an idea that I would like to discuss with you.
Yeah, I'll be
here.
Yeah.
She mentioned urgent care.
You want it now or after the meeting?
No, now.
Oh, okay.
If it's possible. She mentioned urgent care.
She mentioned what?
Urgent care.
Urgent care.
Urgent care, okay.
I've been thinking about an idea that we can have an ambulance in the fire department here in Monturo. 24/7. Okay, station here. Because I've been seeing a lot of people have emergency medical issues, and then the ambulance has to come from town over here, even accidents, even car accidents. I've been witnessing car accidents where people have to be living out from Monturo in an emergency. Okay, so the ambulance has to come from Houston over here and do all the things that have to do on the person, the injured person, they have to give the CPR or whatever, then they have to stable the person and take it back to the hospital. And that takes a very good time. If we have an ambulance here, station 24/7 in the fire department, then we let them quicker. Okay, if a person has a heart attack, you have a major car accident, then the ambulance can be here, station in Monterey, and can go to the place where the accident was, or the person have the heart attack, stroke, whatever. And then they can be working on the person to make sure they stabilize the person, take the person a lot faster to the hospital town.
I get it. So it's something we can look into, but please keep in mind, at the end of the day, it's dollars, right?
Yes.
We want to take care of public safety, but where do you draw the line? Do you sit back and say, okay, now we're going to have an EMS also in Pioneer, in Ladika, in Glades? You know, it becomes an issue where you have to man the people.
I'm talking about Monterey.
No, I know, but that's what's going to happen is that it's based on a tax base.
But like you said, Pioneer. If we have one station here, it will be closer to Pioneer.
Right.
And anybody have an emergency to Pioneer, the ambulance will be closer to Pioneer.
I can have a discussion with the powers that be and get back with you about their thoughts, but I think it's a bigger picture than.
I'm not saying buying a new ambulance. I'm saying assigning an ambulance of the money that you already have to here to Monterey. And they can be stationed, the first responders or the staff can be assigned here in Monterey 48 hours or 72 hours in a row like they do in South Florida, they do in many different big cities.
Well, I'll take a look at that, find out, and get with you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, appreciate it. Next up, Josh. Uh-oh, Josh, you've been.
Already an hour ready, we haven't gotten to the agenda.
Really quick, I want to thank the board really quick for giving me the chance to talk today. Just kind of give you an update on the reservoir. We have 127 keys sold.
Good.
Since the fourth vehicle has been added, everything's been really quiet, really calm about it. Everybody's really happy for it. We are in the process of working with Central County, with the Bs. We've got a kind of an answer. Mr. Iglesias actually got us a hookup with Ricky Rudd.
Okay.
And we're going to set up a meeting take them out there and show them where it's at.
Is that what they are, bees?
That are, yeah, hornets. Actually, it's not bees, it's hornets. And if any of y'all want to actual visualize, I've actually got pictures to show you how big this thing is.
So you're going to take me out there?
If you really want to go out there. Just to kind of give you an idea, it's 5 foot tall and about 4 to 6 foot wide.
Yeah, it looks smaller. It looks smaller.
It looks smaller in the pictures.
Josh. And you spoke to him?
Yeah, we've already got one. Yeah, it's a pretty good size. So hopefully that will be taken care of in the near weeks or so.
Just for the record, I'll drive with you, but I'm not getting close.
I'm with you on that too. Yeah, we did, last weekend, we did go out there and do some tree trimming along the trail, because it has grown in the trail, and we also did
This is just from a distance.
I've also got pneumonia.
Yeah, this is from a distance, but it's.
The trash is blowing out of the dump during the weekends when the gates are open into the parking lot. He said that we will get that picked up.
So is that happening every weekend? Or that just
No, it's just here recently. I guess we've had a lot of wind.
We've had a lot of people get popped.
It just happened.
Last weekend there was a little wind.
Yeah. A dangerous
For
situation.
whatever reason, that weekend somebody threw a lot of
loose
When
trash.
you go through there,
insulation
you
and
can go
stuff.
through it.
Right, it's not nothing that happens all the time. This is a one-time deal.
If you get even right here,
I know that people
they'll
have
come out
said
of the
something
nest.
to it. I just want
And
to
they
make sure
start
that
swarming
they're
and
taken care of.
They just lazy, they don't want to pick it up.
We've had one person that got popped 17 times.
But
and
just
never
that, we have some, we are trying to talk about doing like a little Valentine's ride, nothing big, nothing special, just with our own groups, you know, that have anybody else come in. So there might be a little traffic on Valentine's weekend, hopefully. There is a lot of complaints about ATVs and four-wheelers out on the streets. I know that we do not police the streets. I know that's not y'all's job.
Well, it's getting bad again.
It is getting bad again. I don't know if it's something that maybe we all as a group can get a hold of the sheriff and talk to him. I personally talked to him, my wife, we've all sent emails, talked to him as well. And we've also got another really big issue with gunfire. To the point that it almost could took someone's life a couple weeks. Sean's actual house and stuff got shot up. And it's pretty bad.
Sheriff?
We need to get a hold of the sheriff. And I don't know if Mr. Iglesias can help us out. I mean, I figure as a large group, as a voice, we can all probably come together. I know it's not our job, but I mean, we gotta do something.
But it's a concern because we fear, I work as a volunteer with the sheriff.
Right.
And I have many complaints about that.
Right, and I mean,
people shooting, like if you was,
right.
you know.
And I get a lot of times people call me like, oh, they're shooting in the reservoir. But I'm in the reservoir and it's not in the reservoir.
They're not in the reservoir, they're at the feed guy again. They came through the border shooting a high-powered rifle.
Exactly.
They told me we do.
Yeah, he's got pictures and everything.
That's the damn city to think they're that's what they do. That's a people mind.
But just really quick, I know it's not our job, but I figured as a community we can pull together.
Everybody can privately call the sheriff.
There you go, exactly. And I also want to tell Mr. Iglesias, thank you. He's actually one of the first county commissioners that I can ever remember since the 80s actually come here and it not be an election day. And he actually has been helping us right along with the board. So we are actually moving forward, people. I encourage y'all to continue. I know a lot of complaints are going on Facebook. Listen, you've got to come to these meetings. You've got to tell people to come to these meetings, express your points. You understand what's going on. That's the problem. People have these problems, but they don't know what's going on.
Cowards come to meetings and confront people.
Right,
They go on Facebook where they don't have to confront
Exactly.
people.
So if you know people that are actually, that have problems and issues.
No, but Facebook is good too.
I know in the past it's been, when we come up here and we would say something and nothing would never get done. This is an entirely new board. They are trying to work with us.
One talking at a time, guys. Go ahead, Josh, the floor is yours. One talking at a time, go ahead.
I just want to say this is an entirely new board. We've got new people on the actual Henry County board that's new. For the first time of me being here since 1980, we're all working together and actually moving forward for once. And it's a good thing. We need to continue it, and I encourage everybody to do it.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Josh, you
Appreciate the kind words. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'll trade you if you want to take care of the reservoir.
Listen, I'm sorry that happened to you, and Emma was there in that room, real close by. I was here this weekend, and I heard high-powered ammunition, non-stop. You know, it was like kept going on and on and on, and I was like, what's going on?
It's been going on for 40 years.
Yeah, it's one thing to shoot a 12 gauge or something in your property, but a high power rifle on an acre and a quarter is ridiculous.
I have a question. You do not do your Valentine's Day on the same day that we do our Valentine's Day?
What day do you want to do? That's not our reason. We can do it next week. It's not like
I was just kidding.
it's not going to be nothing big. It's just going to
So, with that being said, I just encourage everybody, call the sheriff's department, have a meeting with the sheriff. We can, you can invite him to our meeting, but again, you have access to the sheriff and his staff just like we do. So again, we all get together. I promise you he will take care of it. A lot of people, my wife got on the media and I said, I'm not the county. She said, but you can call somebody. I said, again, you can call somebody. What's hindering you from calling a number? So again, we voiced our concerns. We know Monterey is growing. A lot of people are coming from down south and all other places, and you hear the high-powered rifles going off. Ex-military, I heard one come across my head the other day when I was barbecuing. Again, those things travel a long ways. Just like it was really bad out here New Year's Day. Holy cow. I'm thankful we didn't have anything bad, but man, it was really bad. I've never heard it that bad. And they didn't stop at 12:05 either.
And we even reached out to the sheriff. We sent the sheriff an email and tried to contact him to see if he would come tonight to kind of go over the situation with ATVs and so maybe everybody would send an email. Maybe it would kind of stir up enough dust that we'll actually.
And that's how you get things done with the county as well as here. You come, you present something logical that makes sense. We have to listen.
One thing I noticed with the sheriff, call the deputy. A deputy will respond, and a deputy will come over and talk to the people that do the shooting. That's very important.
Yeah, the response time has got a lot better out here than what it used to be, but we're still dealing with, and no offense, we're still dealing with, we're supposed to have a deputy here, and 90% of the time they're either on Flagpole Road or somewhere else. No, not you.
No,
No, not you. I'm talking about the other actual deputy. Right.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, no disrespect.
Listen, when the shooting starts, you just gotta go try to figure out where it's coming from. I had to take cover at my house one time. I found out where it was coming from. The sheriff's department went over there, they never did it again. But you got to, you know, and I know when bullets are flying, you kind of get a little apprehensive, but I've had it happen to me. This didn't just start, it's been going on here for 4 years.
Agree.
I just want to encourage everybody,
Yes.
I mean, I know that there's a lot going on, but if we got time to complain, or, excuse me, I'm sorry, if we got time to put it on Facebook, then we have that time to make that phone call to the sheriff department and try to get a point on that one. And then go to Facebook and let's let it.
Nobody listens to Facebook.
Okay. Thank you for your public comments, and let's move on. Thank you for everything.
And I
Appreciate
want
you
to say
coming.
thank you to Flocka, they did take care of my oral on the sidearm, it looks beautiful.
They did. Staff did a great job with that. Thank you. Thank you for those kind words for our staff.
Still not going to that yellow jacket thing with you.
He's trying to butter you up so you get.
Say again? All right. Mr. Gonzalez, you got something? All right.
I wanted to bring a couple things up. It's very important. This is the beginning of the year, so we're pretty challenged to make things happen. So I feel like the beginning of the year, it's got to be an important meeting. Let's get this going and let's start moving forward. The mural at the entrance of Monturo, right in front of Mary Lou's. I think we could do something much prettier there than just that. I'm not saying knock it down, but let's get some paint on it if possible. Let's make it look beautiful. The entry sign for Monturo. We're having a lot of guests visiting us. People are very involved in Monturo. Many people are coming in and they're enjoying it, but let's make it beautiful. Let's make it beautiful and let's take care of it like it's our house. It's our property, it's our house. Moving forward. Yes, ma'am.
So with that, is there a way to gain permission to help plant that? Can we have, who, is that Central County?
We take care of that.
Okay.
We changed all the lighting on it. We did a lot of stuff. Before we put the 57 gravel on that sign, we did a lot of flowers and stuff like that. Believe it or not,
People stealing?
they took it. The next day there was no flowers.
Well, I have some people asking already, they want to get involved. The community wants to get involved, putting flowers on there, making it look pretty, so.
I just went back and fill them up with gravel because I cannot keep putting flowers and people say.
Can I put cacti?
Do we have irrigation there? Good question.
I'm sorry?
Do we have irrigation? Do we have water?
No, we were gonna take that.
So you guys were taking the little tank over there and put some water on there?
But we couldn't because on the next day they were gone.
Oh, but you see how important it is? Everybody now is getting all excited about that sign, okay? That sign is beautiful. So let's try to figure out a way that we can make it, it beautifies Monturo. Monturo, there's bigger signs gonna be coming in the future. Henry County's gonna be beautiful signs. Let's start with that one at least, okay? Becky, you had a question? I'm sorry, Josh. Go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna make this sign look beautiful, but Mary Lou's looks like trash. So it
I'm sorry.
offsets what we're trying to make look.
Well, I hope her business is gonna, is gonna make it outstanding, right? When you bring that business, I want that beautiful,
She's coming
okay?
from 832, so we'll see a beautiful 832. When we get to our mural, we're gonna see a beautiful.
Well, Henry County's gonna get on that to make sure we start, something's gotta happen there with Mary Lou's. Yes, ma'am.
Can I work with you guys on planting like spiky agave that's hard, like big ones that are hard to?
Sure,
I'm pretty sure Central County is open to any suggestion and help, and we'll move forward on that.
I was gonna encourage the public to maybe even come up with a committee to actually help Central.
Well, as a matter of fact, thank you, and I wanted to talk about that as well. I want to bring, with the board in the future, I want to be able to have a committee for the clubhouse, okay? We have an excellent committee at the reservoir, okay? Again, we're in 2021.
Yes, sir.
We're moving forward.
How about a committee
So-
to beautify Monturo?
That's what we're talking about, yeah, have a committee.
Well, you know what? The clubhouse committee could work on that as well. I mean, we're getting all the books, we're getting the library stuff in here, we're getting things going on. So many things are happening. And with that being said, I'm gonna go to that Pepsi machine that's out there. That Pepsi machine sometimes is empty and it's just sitting there. We gotta get rid of it. Let's figure out a way to get rid of it or what we can do about it. Let's
It's never been empty.
figure it out. But it's.
Now, that machine, it belongs to Pepsi.
Uh-huh.
So, because of that, we have the obligation to keep, we have to buy from them every 2 months or so.
2 months or so. Okay, so again, that's gonna bring something that I'm gonna bring in the future, and for us to think about it going forward. If we can sell keys and make a profit to help the reservoir, we gotta figure out something to make money here, okay, to pay for that pool and to pay for this roof, okay, that we're looking at almost $100-something thousand. We gotta figure something out, okay? Because taxes are horrendous. Henry, not us here, that we only pay the $220 per acre, but we gotta figure something out. And please, sir, Mr. Primero, we gotta figure something out on this 298. There's gotta be a loophole somewhere that we could make profit money to bring it back into the clubhouse, into our committee, and get people excited to come out here. We've had this clubhouse open already. We've had the park open. We're spending money in the park, and not that many people are taking advantage of it. So we have to figure out, get the community out of their house, bring them here.
That
Okay.
machine, we can replace it. We can buy a machine and put it there. Now, we tried that before. This is just for the board information. We tried that before. I'm talking about like 6 or 7 years ago. We were gonna replace it, and the board at that moment, if I don't mistake, didn't want to do that because a lot of residents that were on that meeting were saying that why do they want to make money out of our taxes?
We'll figure it out.
So, with that being said, the machine stays in the clubhouse just for the convenience of the public, to have something cold. But we don't make, I mean,
That's pennies. It's
Yeah,
pennies,
we don't
it's pennies.
make
It's
any
pennies,
money
it's pennies, but it's a
out of that.
convenience.
It's not gonna fix the roof.
Right, it's not gonna fix it, but again, we have to figure something out, starting with that, okay?
The snack machine belongs to us.
Okay, so last but not least, there's newspaper box. The newspaper box has been out there under the newspaper stand out there. It's been since I moved here in Montura. It's been empty, it's just an eyesore. Is there any way we just get rid of that thing? Can we throw it away? It doesn't belong, so can we call a newspaper company and tell them to pick it up? I mean, it's been sitting there, can we call a newspaper company and get rid of it?
I suppose.
Great, sounds great. And last thing,
But just keep in mind, there is not on the parking lot, it's inside the government property.
but it belongs to the newspaper company.
I don't know who it belongs to, I'm just saying that it's inside the mail.
Sounds great, let's make some phone calls, let's see if we can get rid of it. It's been an eyesore, and all it is people throwing garbage into it. Okay, they're using it as a dumpster, okay? So let's get rid of it. If it doesn't work, let's get rid of it. And last, what I'm saying, Landy has been coming out here, and we made some comments. Every time he comes out here, he spends $200 on the tent. Correct me if I'm wrong. He pays for that tent when we do the drive-through. For the food. Every time there's a food drive-through here,
Every time he does a
he
drive-through, he
pays
brings everything, yes.
$200 or so for the
I don't
tent.
know
Okay.
how much, but
He pays $1 for it. Let's put $1, okay? So as I was studying the landscape of Monterey the other day, we, as going forward with this pandemic and all these drive-throughs and all this kind of stuff that we're having, out here, we cannot have a tent or a roof, but as we drive through, and I will reach this out with Mr. Bennett, and I'm throwing it out there for you guys to keep it in mind. As we're driving down that driveway, that last shed, a tiki, whatever you want to call it at the end, if we could just make a drive-through to use it in the future and go out through that entrance that you guys have over there, I will be bringing that up in the future. I'm going to put it together on paper, let you guys look into it and see what we can work out as well. Because every drive-through event or anything that we can do over there, we just drive on through and we don't have to that extra expenditure for that $200, not just for Landy, even for us when we do giveaways, okay? Anything that we're gonna do, we may just use that corner and we're under a roof, okay? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, let's go to old and new business. We're gonna discuss and vote on clubhouse roof, pool repairs. Herminio And Mr. Bennett, can you speak on that behalf, please?
I will let Mr. Bennett,
Sure thing. Can you get the mic on for him so we hear him?
Thank you, Becky. Thank you.
Okay, on the pool repairs, on the clubhouse repair.
if you guys go all the way to the end,
Okay.
you're gonna find the estimate.
Thank you, sir.
Got a proposal from Clyde Johnson Contracting to remove the skylights, replace that with engineered trusses and put a metal roof over. So it will eliminate the skylights and the problem we got with the leaking up there. And we have a metal roof over it. And then in addition to that, he's proposing to upgrade our electrical panel here, which we need to do for a while because it's dangerous. And we don't have any light switches in here. And he's also going to put the LED lighting up in the peak, like he mentioned when he was here last month. So his proposal for all that is $54,575.
Then I have two proposals here, Mr. Johnson, one for 54 and the other for 48,000.
The 48, sorry, was the one without the transfer switch. We need the transfer switch for the generator.
48 don't count.
So let's cross this out.
No, we just keep it there so you guys can see the difference. So he sent the one with the 48,
Okay.
but then since we already got our nice generator, which is a tall one, the only thing we need is a transfer switch.
Yeah, we
So
gotta have
it
it,
was,
since having a generator, he got switched.
it was not included on this one, so I asked him to send me another one with that included. So that's how it went from 48 to 54.
Are we using that 1.6?
I was just gonna say, if y'all give me a minute, Commissioner, can you help us out with this $54,000?
No.
Yeah, there's water under that.
54,000 includes that.
We need that transfer. I move that we proceed on, because the longer we wait, the more damage we're gonna do to this building.
Hold on 1 second before we put the motion. Mr. Bennett?
Yeah.
Is this foolproof? We're not gonna bring this topic up again after this one?
I'm sorry. I didn't hear.
Is this going to alleviate the problem?
I believe it will. I believe with everything we've done over the past few years, we've pretty much isolated the problem with that, to be in that skylight. So if we remove the skylight, then that should do it.
Mr. Mata mentioned alleviate. I want the bond solved.
Yes, that should solve the problem.
I think it's, when he was here talking, he sold me. He sold me, it makes sense, everything he said. So.
He's a gentleman of reputation.
So,
He already, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I've been through the process, and he already literally changed every single screw on the roof. He put all the, I don't know how you call it, they go between the metal things. I mean, he changed everything on that roof, and the leak has not stopped.
What he said he was gonna do is gonna stop, it makes sense, everything he said, because he's gonna eliminate that roof, he's gonna put something over it, it's gonna run the water off into the, yeah, I can't see how it can leak out there.
with that being said, do we have a motion on the floor? Any questions? Do we have a motion on the floor to approve this?
Yes.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? We have a second. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes, motion carries. When will this start?
I will give him the signed contract tomorrow, and I will find out with him.
Can you email the board as well
I sure will.
when the job starts?
Before the rainy season starts?
Yeah. Okay.
So is that eliminating the inner roof that y'all talking about doing?
No, sir.
No.
That's just the roof and the electrical upgrade.
So that's not the inner ceiling?
No, sir.
That's yet another story.
Well, the reason why I asked is because you're talking about doing the LED light in the skylight. You know, to kind of give us that effect in the sun, but if we're gonna put another roof in there, like,
When he covers all that up, I predict it's gonna be a lot less coming in this building.
right,
We can
deal with it then?
deal with it without all this we talked about. Nobody wants to cover it up. I'm curious to see what the difference is gonna be in the heat that comes in when he does that versus what it is now. And then maybe upgrade the air conditioner a little higher and not have to do all that, but that's a lot of maybe, we'll see.
Thank you. I believe this is in your report as well, Herminio. Discuss and vote driveway permit forms.
Did you want to talk about the pool repairs too?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Let's talk about, I didn't see that. Sorry, go ahead. Let's bring up the pool.
This is a lot more difficult than the roof repair.
Yeah.
I compared the
Where's your estimate at?
two estimates
Your estimates, Herminio?
as much as I could. It was
Oh, that was given on the last one for you guys. That was given in our December meeting agenda for you guys to take with you.
Yeah, you guys would take it with you so you
And you guys
can.
would look at it.
Those are the two that we brought, those two that were proposed.
Yes.
Okay,
40A and 80.
understood. Go ahead, Mr.
I
Bennett.
brought it printed out. while-
No, I remember them. I didn't know that was it. Okay.
Yes, the same one.
Legitimacy.
Yeah.
Each business,
Yeah.
that's what we're focusing on, legitimacy, and the difference of money, what's the difference?
We had-
A lot of difference.
we had two proposals. One was from Rockstar Pools, and one was from Ulrich Pools. And one was $48,000 that was the Rockstar Pool,
And the other one's 89.
and the other was $89,000.
Can anyone explain that away? Same
couldn't-
scope,
I
same
couldn't
scope?
explain it. Now, I looked at all of their scope of work. They were both proposing similar things. There were some differences. The more expensive one actually proposed filling of the pool and balancing the water. The other one didn't include filling the pool, the cheaper one did. The cheaper one had a better warranty than the more expensive one did. I looked at, I had them send me references. I checked references. I talked to not only references from pools that they had done, but I talked to the material suppliers. Both of them had excellent references. They worked all over the Caribbean and some of these fancy hotels. Both of them. I can't explain the difference. I even found some specifications on the internet because, you know, we didn't put out anything for bid or give them any specifications. They both tracked along pretty close with what the specifications I found, but
So if Arminio fills the pool up, we can save $40,000.
I'm saying that I see no reason for the one being twice what the other one is, and it looks to me like
So do you have a recommendation, Mr. Bennett?
that either one could do the work.
If that's the case, I moved it, with everything he said, I couldn't go any other way but cheapest.
Anybody on the board have a question?
The difference is, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Bennett. The one with the 90,000 or 89,000, he is providing treated water, and he will finish the treatment in the pool. In other words, he's gonna give me the pool ready to swim on it.
Yeah, I don't care about swimming, don't we
Right,
got pumps
so-
of water here? We got water going through, right?
Well, I'm explaining this because
Yeah,
on the last meeting, you guys were concerned why was the.
Right, but man.
But when we did the pool the last time, each 5,000 gallon semi-tank is anything between $4,000 to $6,000.
Well, wait a minute, why are we
Water.
using, question,
So that's probably why you see that much difference between 50 and 90.
why can't we use the water we have here and treat it?
You can, but what they're saying,
No, we can treat it.
what they're saying, Benny, like for instance, when you pull water from a well, because do water, it's gonna take a while for it to stabilize and to get it right.
Yes.
What I think, what Herminia's trying to say is, when that gentleman that contract is finished, it's gonna be
Right.
ready to go.
Is it worth $40,000 to?
So that's-
We've been doing this for 40 years, the pool's been there for a long time.
That's the difference, that's a big difference.
Understood.
One and the other one. Now, the last time we did the pool, they tried that type of water that I'm talking about. And they brought over one tank. It was beautiful. It was aqua color and everything, but they stopped it right away when they got the bill.
Yeah,
It was almost $6,000. So what they did is that truck was kind of lost at the end because we end up with the fire department tank bringing water from the lake.
Did that work?
We filled up the pool and it took us about a week and a half, but we got it working.
And we saved 40 grand.
I mean, I'm just explaining so you.
Yeah.
you guys know
No,
what-
thank you, because I'm thinking,
I'm looking at 40,000.
yeah, $40,000 for water, and I know water and the logistics, and it all gets expensive, but I had a pool in my house, and I used the water from coming right out of the ground, and we
You
treated
do.
it. and
It just takes time. It does. It does. It just takes time. That's all. And that's what Arminio is trying to clarify.
We don't have money.
We can fill them up with the well,
Yeah.
but I'm afraid we might burn the pump out. Or it's gonna take forever. I mean, but
Fire
that's,
department,
you know.
fire department help.
I mean, say, can we get the fire department to help us?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Well, I'm pretty sure, right?
I don't know.
Hey, I
So the 48,000, I was on this building when they fixed the pool before, 5 years ago.
Yes.
And the bill was 28,000, Mr. Bennett?
This is not an average pool. This isn't the pool in your backyard. This is a commercial type pool.
Right.
You're running slowly.
I'm not saying that, bro. It's gonna be slow.
When they fixed
Yeah.
it the last
And it's gonna
time.
take time. And that's fine. But, so you proved in this quote. Do we have any more questions? Because we can get this meeting going forward. Do we have any more questions?
I'm good. And I know the fire department will help you, so we can get the water, in, I'm good.
Next big question. Do we have money in the budget for that as well? Because those are, we just approved the 50, what? 56, 58?
You guys,
49.5.
let's keep in mind that both estimates are for the clubhouse. So
I understand.
you're asking me if we have budget in the clubhouse for both of them?
Correct.
We
No,
don't.
we gotta get them somewhere else.
We don't.
Yeah, we gotta get it, so-
We can deal with something else through the line items, but
Raymond,
Can I say something?
yes.
You just got $1.6 million for drainage, you might be able to move some of that water.
I'm already there. That's why I said, let's go. I'm already there.
Sorry to throw you under the bus.
No.
I wanna be
Believe
helpful.
me. I'm already there.
We've been sitting
And
at
the
this.
rest,
Hey, what you guys have to understand, I think Mr. Famera will speak on this, you have to give an account for every dollar you spend of grant money, and it has to be allocated to the right places.
Under our agreement, the county has to.
no, I'm saying the money that you have in your budget for drainage, now that you have 1.6 million added to that to do a project, you might be able to shift your existing budget money for drainage towards.
Right.
Mr. Boyle, you may want to touch base on that.
I was gonna say, Mr. Moore, where are we at with this, with our budgeting?
And use that money in that way.
well, as a manager, I don't count with that money until.
Yeah, so,
And that money was never budgeted, that's emergency
Right,
management.
right.
So we have, I'm looking at the pool repairs and clubhouse pool is 12K. So even the first project, we blew out the water.
What's our drainage? What's the drainage money?
we'll get it somewhere.
Is there roof raised?
So,
We can, I'm 100% sure we can make it happen, because if we did it 2 or 3 years ago, I'm pretty sure we can make it happen.
so here's the thing, here's what I want you guys to know as a board. If we're gonna be committed together, not only, and I don't want you crying, not only do we have to do the roof, not only do we have to do the pool, we gotta do the whole kit and caboodle.
The whole what?
What we talked about, what we were gonna do inside.
Oh, the AC?
Yes, sir. So that's more money. So I don't want you guys crying.
Let me bring something up.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about paving roads. I think we need to stop paving roads right now. I'm telling you right now, we need to stop right now and concentrate on getting this clubhouse caught up. And this year, we just can't pave roads. It's not gonna be the end of the world. Nobody's gonna die from it. That money needs to be used in this direction and move on.
I was gonna suggest the same thing. We can always escape 1
We
year
need to cancel road paving right now.
from, I mean, that's gonna save us almost $200,000.
Yeah.
We do have emergencies, you know, but that's up to you guys.
I can tell you right now, we need to stop it right now.
Hold on one second. All right, John, any comments, concerns? Mr. Boyd, comments, concerns?
Just saying, we got 200,000 for road paving, and then we got 200,000 for rebuilding the dirt roads, which we will have to pretty much keep that up. 200,000 for the road paving is not right.
So we'll continue doing our our dirt roads, we'll continue fixing our dirt roads. That's fine, we just maintain them and all that.
I move that we cancel the paving projects effective immediately and move on with the clubhouse.
Mr. Bennett,
We have $200,000 for rebuilding roads and 90,000 to maintenance the roads, so that's almost 300,000.
Yeah, but.
And then we have 200 for the paving of the road.
Yeah, and we're gonna be 390 upside down, so I move that we do not pave roads this year. We take care of the clubhouse.
Mr. Bennett?
Mr. Bennett, can you speak on behalf of the grant? I know we can usually get creative. Everything with that grant has to do with, I would say, pump station, culverts, entryway to the reservoir, that kind of stuff, correct?
Correct.
Everything that has to do with moving water, correct?
Yes.
So our canal system, all the way to the reservoir, pump stations, etc.
It's to build a new pump station, rehab the old pump station.
Yes, sir.
3, 5, and 6. It's to replace all those 300 and some odd culverts that were failing.
Yes, sir.
At the ends of our roads where we go into the canal. And I think it's to replace, I believe, 6 culvert crossings of the canals underneath the paved road.
I second the motion of Buddy.
300 are damaged, over 300 are damaged.
They're failed, yes.
397.
Yeah.
397 have failed.
Yeah.
Right, it's
Well, that's what we-
100, it's
well, that's
100,
what we actually have.
it's $100,000 to replace them. Just in material.
In material.
All right.
We calculated it legally.
Quick question, because we got to keep moving.
Can I suggest something? Can y'all put this on the agenda and have the public come in and speak on this?
I don't think, I think we need to manage our own money and we know what we need to do.
Right, the
Motion
reason-
on the floor.
The reason why I say this is because you gotta keep in mind, not everybody uses the clubhouse. So you have people that, you know what I'm saying? And we've been so far behind on getting roads paved out here for many years. And like we were all promised, right?
Hold on a
Every
second.
year we would get at least one road paved.
Josh, we're paving with blood money now.
I understand
We've been
that.
paving with blood money. We gotta stop. It's gotta stop. We have to have money to do it. We need to quit using money we don't have to pave roads. If the roads are paved or not paved, nobody's gonna die. You're gonna be able to come home a little slower, a little faster. This clubhouse is gonna fall down if we don't fix it.
No, I'm
We need to
all
quit
for it.
paving with blood money.
I'm all for the roof and for the pool, but I mean, like,
There's a motion
I'm all
on
for
the
one more
floor.
year
I
on
second
the
the
AC or something. I mean, we went this long without having an AC.
No, they haven't approved the AC.
We're not at the AC, we're
But
on
they-
one roof and pool.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we're already at
Yeah,
100.
we're not even there yet.
What he's putting
Hold on, fellas.
It's just to stop it for 1 year, just for this year.
Right.
We don't pave anything. Next year, we will.
I just don't want to get in that habit of us forgetting about the roads because we've all lived through.
Let me tell you something, the roads are something we cannot afford in this community.
Right.
Let's quit lying to ourselves. We cannot afford to pave roads. We're paving roads with money that's put up. In 6 or 7 years, there won't be any money. This place is done. So we gotta find another way. We gotta quit using that mentality. We got things going, we resurfaced some roads that needed to be resurfaced because you don't wanna lose your base. It's very, very expensive. But that mentality about paving roads, it's gotta stop now. We do not have enough money to pave roads. The people that wanna pave roads need to agree to a tax increase or God knows what, because
Oh, we're overlaying. We're not paving roads, we're overlaying roads, right?
right, but I'm just saying.
Okay, there's a
I
difference.
keep hearing paving roads.
Okay, there's a difference between paving road and overlaying.
I'm talking about overlay.
Overlay, okay, good, good.
Yeah, second the motion.
Listen, go ahead.
Is there a middle ground, like maybe not, I know you say cut it all out, maybe.
This year.
Cut half, do half of that. Because the way, what I'm hearing is that with all those culverts and everything else that you're having to fix, you're looking at spending pretty much all of that grant on what it's supposed to be used for.
Correct.
And you're gonna take out the money that was proposed to fix things that were in addition to that, and you're taking that away and you're doing it to fix the roof, which is, I understand that needs to be done.
Right.
But as Josh said, not everyone is caring about the roof. I care about the roof. I had my, I think I had my first kiss here in this clubhouse. I care about how it is. But I can tell you this, you guys talk about Montura growing, there's not many kids coming here. A lot of Montura that's coming is older, they want to do the farms, they want to do it, live the rural life, they're riding forward, it's not coming to the clubhouse.
Right.
You let the roads get even worse than what they are, these people are going to quit coming.
So maybe we need to tear the clubhouse down. We can't afford, this is what no one understands. We are $390,000 in the red. We cannot continue to operate $390,000 in the red. And I say that because nobody wants to listen. That's where we are, and we have to stop. Now we have another 150 or two before it's over with to spend. Where's it going to stop? We have to cancel roads this year. We have to move on and get this clubhouse, or tear it down, and then do what we got to do. But we can't do both. We just can't.
So we appreciate the public's input. Those are very good points that you made, because we did allocate some money for certain projects, so we might have it. We're having a tough time. We've had a tough time, challenging time, balancing out the books, correct, Mr. Boyd? We continue to get creative, and I guess this year we have to get creative again. And we might have to do 1 mile, Benny, instead of 2 miles. It's possible.
There's a motion on the floor. It says no more waving. There's a second. We need to vote.
Hold on a second.
I just want to remind the board that we have a grader that is almost done.
Yes, sir.
Keep piling it on. That's exactly what I
We
want.
have
Thank
another
you.
one.
I appreciate it. It's true. So here we go.
So watch this. I just want to make the board members straight. Please, let's be decent, let's in order, allow the community to speak. We've been doing this. This is a great thing. This is the land of the free, the land of opportunity. So we have a motion on the floor for...
No paving roads this year. Take care of the clubhouse.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Nay. Motion carries.
All right.
What else?
So we're clear. So the motion is to redirect the budgeted funds for road resurfacing to the clubhouse.
Yes, correct. For the repairs, yes.
For the repairs.
They have to be made.
It may not be all of it.
Not all of it, not all of it, just the money that we need, just that. So we just keep the reserve that's there in case of an emergency for roads that we need to get done as an emergency. Okay, then we still have funds there for those type of roads. Because I'm doing the numbers here and we still have money left over.
We're gonna have money left over, obviously, but we, like you said, leave it there, believe me, we'll get it. We'll get it.
Point of record,
Yes, sir.
point of record, I heard the votes, that's one you already, what was your vote on that?
Yes.
It was, okay. We didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
So vote was 3-1. And again, vote carries. Motion passed. So we're clear with the pool. When will that project start?
I will contact them tomorrow.
We have to get in contact with them, sign the contract that
Sign
they're
the
going to
contract and pass it
send.
over to them, and then they'll tell us and they'll schedule it.
All right, let's please try not to have any change orders if possible. Whatever is usually cheap, there's a reason why it's cheap. So let's make sure we try to keep that change orders down as much as possible.
Which one did we go with, Rockstar?
If the scopes are exactly the same, there can't be a change order, it's written.
They're going with the least expensive one. Correct, board?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
The least
the cheaper
expensive?
one.
Yep, okay.
And we're also going with Clyde Johnson on the road, on the roof?
Yes, ma'am.
That's one of the reasons why I continue saying we need to figure out and try to get away from this 298 somehow, okay? Because we need to make sure that we find funds for everything that's going on in Montura.
Help us on the way. Help us on the way.
Again, yes, we got 1.6 mil,
No,
okay? But at the end of the day, we need to find other resources for money to come into Montura. And it's not just us, it's not just the attorney, not everybody else, the committee, the citizens, they have ideas, bring it up. We will be more than glad to listen to it, but we gotta figure out a way to bring money in here because we're running on the red, definitely we are.
I understand y'all are still running in the red, but I remember last year with some of the FEMA money that it was supposed to be put back for new equipment. Is that still kind of in?
No, that was 2 years ago, Josh.
Yeah,
Okay, 2 years
And we still ended up
Yeah, that here, we were
$600,000 on it.
600,000 in the
Yeah,
red,
600,000.
and instead we ended up 300,000 in the red.
Let's bring it back in. Mr. Romero, thank you. Let's bring it back in. We gotta make sure we stick to this agenda.
So
As much as
speaking
possible.
of moving Central County forward.
Yes, sir.
I drafted, we're getting a lot of activity for these right-of-way permits. People call them driveway permits. They're really, they're permits to use district right-of-way.
Is that a culvert permit that we're
Yeah.
talking about? Okay.
There's been a lot of talk about it, there's been issues. Who owns the culvert? Who's responsible for maintaining the culvert?
Good question.
You got thousands, eventually it's gonna be thousands of culverts.
Yes, sir.
So what you have is a liability that every day goes up and up and up because there was questions about who has to maintain. So I buy a lot, I put a driveway, I stick a culvert under the driveway, and then I drive a semi-truck over the driveway and it crushes the culvert. There was some people were under the impression that Central County had to fix the culvert. No.
Not unless they damage it.
Well, Central County damaged.
Right, not unless they damage it, right.
So, because if we were to be, and I guess we have been responsible, we've been replacing them?
No.
No.
I haven't, I knew from the get-go that we're not responsible for.
Right,
for
in the
culvert.
past,
So I
I
haven't-
think they had been replacing them, but anyways, so I drafted the permit, the form we use is like
Yes, sir.
3/4 of a page. I think it was written 30 years ago. It's pretty pathetic. So this one is a little bit more formal. We have permit conditions, like any permit. Any of you apply for a permit today, you're gonna get a piece of paper that has permit conditions on it. So that's what we have here. I sent it to the engineer a few months ago. I sent it to Emilio. I think we need to get it done. So I'm bringing it to the board.
I saw it recently.
And this says, and it says, the lot owner is responsible for their culvert. And if it gets damaged, the reason it gets damaged is because the use over the driveway.
Makes sense.
And I think we just need to be clear about that. Here, Montura's growing, more and more driveway permits. We've had some issues with driveway permits, so this is to help kind of get us to the next level.
Okay, is this gonna help the misunderstanding of the issues we've had? Like,
So no, that's a different issue.
Oh, okay.
We have to address that too.
Yeah,
That is
you're gonna change it.
having, so right now we reference Hendry County's specs. And, I looked at them, they're, a lot of it is professional judgment. It's not like you have to use this specific type of DOT, grade line rock, or, it's not that kind of detail.
It doesn't say DOT, I thought it said DOT.
It says DOT.
But you can, but we don't require, we require DOT certified crushed lime rock.
We have never required, for years and years, we have never required, because if we would go with a FDOT approved, there is no way we're gonna be able to know, because they can get the dirt from anywhere and bring a ticket from another place. I mean, there's no, so what we always look after is a lime rock. Lime rock. The only difference is DOT approved is the rocks are about 4 to 5 inches and the lime
It has
rock
to be
is
certified.
2 to 3. And it has to be certified, exactly.
That's why I'm asking the question. So basically what we're asking, and that concerns me with the little issue.
Yeah.
We're asking for lime rocks, what we're asking for. We're not asking for DOT certified.
It's actually lime rock or millings.
Or
millions.
Millions of what?
Crushed asphalt.
Crushed asphalt.
Asphalt millions?
That's on our application.
Okay. All right,
The
so
point
we
is, the material has to maintain the structural integrity, keep the culvert in place, and not, and that issue, the gentleman hired a lawyer, I spoke with him yesterday, the day before, I think it has resolved everything with those people. And I think we've held our position, and I think they just explained to them, I think there's a misunderstanding.
Well, his main thing was that somebody told him that me, Herminio, didn't want his material in Montura.
Right, and the idiot, instead of asking you, goes and hires a lawyer and wants to.
So
I said it.
on the meeting today, me and Mr. Bennett meet with him today, and the first thing I did was explain to him how the permit process goes.
Yeah.
And after I explained it to him, he basically said, well, you guys have nothing to do who's hiring who, or where the material is coming from, or who's doing it, or who's the contractor, or where they're buying the material. We don't ask any of that. We go there, put the elevation stake, we leave, the landowner or the contractor does the work, come back, do inspection. That's it, that's all we do.
Right. So you're right, because even the lawyer had some ridiculous story, and I said, you don't know the manager here, he doesn't play that game. You're wrong, and I think we.
Misinformed.
Yeah, misinformed.
So what do you need, so we can keep moving?
I just
John?
approve the use of the form. If anybody has any comments or additions or revisions.
Any of the supervisors have any questions on the form?
Let's hear the engineer.
Go ahead, Mr. Bennett.
The only question I had, and it's perfectly all right with me, but just wanted to bring it to your attention. In this form, you're requiring the two things. We want to bring, you're requiring them to provide a survey, which I think is a good thing, because then you know where the boundaries are and whether they're putting that culvert within their property. But the other thing is that we're actually requiring the permittee now to hire an engineer and certify that it was put in correctly instead of Central County people inspecting it. So
there's a fee with that?
It would cost them to hire an engineer to inspect their culvert.
Yeah, so.
I think we need to continue.
So let's talk about that. Yeah, thank you for pointing it out. So I have the.
Number 6.
Okay, we got 4 and 6.
So the idea was, and we can change this, the idea was, let's have a licensed professional take the responsibility of having to go out there and certify it rather than our staff that could be doing other things. But you're right, there's a cost to doing it. There's no question. That's your judgment call.
The county doesn't even do that.
Nope.
I don't know what the.
Glades County doesn't do it, I can tell you that.
Hedrick County does have a PE on staff, but I don't think the counties even do that.
I'm gonna say this.
We're requiring an engineer.
You pay an engineer to give you, I got a problem with it. I'd rather have our people inspect it in our.
It's our backyard.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put in there, submit a statement of completion to be reviewed and approved by Central County.
Yeah, let's.
Can we review this, John? This is probably best to review because this is a bigger impact. This is quite a big impact because I'm not knocking you, but you could say, hey, you know what? I'm one of the only games in town. You want that stamp? I need $400 just to say that's an approved driveway.
Yeah, no, listen, take that. I just want us to have a real professional looking permit with permit conditions.
Agreed.
What we put there, your call, I think, Eric raised a very good point about certification, because my experiences with water management, they do require, they're not gonna go out to your property.
No.
They say, you get someone who put the seal on it, say this was done as required by the permit, and you submit it.
Can I get Patty's gonna forward me what they use in Glades County also, and we could include Mr. Romero on it. But they all, actually, we charge $75 for the permit. We can up our price too. Yeah. Because we've been at $75 for a very long time.
I think you should.
What are you guys paying, what's your Glades?
Glades County charges $100.
75.
So move that.
So with this being said, so let's, as a board, let's look through this and come ready next meeting to come to it, make an approval for this.
And I say, Becky, at the next meeting, so they'll be reviewing and approving this and a new fee. Because I don't think you should just do this now. We gotta have it on the agenda.
Right.
And consider, this is what you've been paying. We need more money. Well, it's been 75. People are spending $20,000 for a lot. They can spend $150 for
I'm thinking 150 sounds better.
So there'll be Becky, so those two items.
Yeah,
The
because
fee.
just alone adding the $25, we just, Mr. Iglesias, we just did the math.
No.
$7,200.
No, we're going to 150.
We're at 150 now.
Oh, well, that's fine,
Y'all gotta-
I'm just
y'all gotta
saying
follow- you
that,
gotta
just
follow,
with
keep up.
$25 increase.
First, we need to
It brought
find
in
out how much,
7,200.
how much is an
So, could we
engineer
sold
gonna cost.
288
We're not gonna get
permits?
engineering. You're gonna do
Last
it.
year.
We're moving away from engineering. What they're gonna have is a survey plan.
Okay, so I'll put it on the agenda for next month.
10-4. All right, with any questions, comments?
No, we're good, we're good.
We're good with that? Any questions on this one so we can move forward?
No, we're gonna go ahead and move over, but I appreciate it, but we're fixing this up. They're gonna bring in their survey, okay? They're gonna send you a survey attached to this, and they're gonna tell you where they're gonna locate it, and they're gonna pay $150.
No, they can't send me that, they have to go physically to the office.
Yeah.
Well, to the office,
landowner-
okay, to the office.
The landowner.
They send you a statement of completion.
Well, we actually, we don't require the physical paper of the survey.
Correct.
If we get to the lot and the
That's correct.
survey is not done, we don't do elevation because we don't know what the boundaries are.
But you're gonna have survey.
Right.
Now you're gonna have a survey.
That's what I'm, so that's.
Yes.
So Larry, in a survey, could they have like invert elevations? Like when they put that culvert, isn't somebody surveying the invert elevation of the culvert?
No, sir.
Central County does
I
that.
can say it's Central County.
That's part of the permit process.
That's part of our
We
process.
do,
That's not
we
part of
do
the
the elevation.
survey.
We do the elevation.
We do
Who
the
comes in after and says, yep, it was put at the right elevation?
We do.
And we're paying for it.
We do.
We're going,
We're doing all that.
we're going through a lot of different problems. I mean, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because with the new code, it's 12 inches on top of the pipe. So a lot of different locations in Montura, it barely has any swell. So when they put the cover and they finish,
It's below.
there's a bump
There's a hump.
on the cover.
They're like a
So,
bridge.
right, so we've been through a lot of different stuff until we always figured it out somehow. So the first thing is, we will go and put the elevations and then we get there to do the inspections and, I mean, we look at cover almost every day. So we know when it's lower or somebody
Isn't
tries
that
to put it lower.
culvert gonna cave in sooner rather than later because you've got that little bump over the
No.
driveway?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
You've got
So-
an adequate amount.
Right, so what they do to eliminate this bump is they go to our elevation scale and they hammer it down to whatever their convenience is.
What-
But by the time the cover is done, you can only see this much of the cover, so, you know, when we put the stake out, we can see our mark about 10 inches lower than that, so,
Right.
Right.
you know.
Our issues,
So it sounds like it should.
our issues as a community is actually this, as we're growing, and as Flacco can attest, is we have so much sedimentation in our ditches and swells. So when we actually get the right shot, one culvert's gonna be here, the next one's gonna be over here, next one's over there, and the water's really not gonna flow. We're makeshifting this thing. That's why we really gotta get a handle on cleaning our swells, knowing the right elevation, so water never goes uphill. Water always goes downhill at an angle. That's why you have it to the canals. And as Mr. Bennett can tell you, from 833 to our pump station, there's not much of a drop.
About 4 feet.
That's not much of a drop.
See, when Cookie was here, that's what we would do during the winter. When we would do our swells, we would dig them out, do whatever, that's how we would get our material and stuff like that. I don't know if Flocko's been one because he's had so much going on, but it's like, it kind of fell off
Yeah.
with the swells.
Well,
after that.
yeah, the staff has tackled a lot of things, but that is one of the hot topics. But we will get to that. So let's move on that one. So we have a direction on that next meeting.
Back to you, if anybody has ideas, comments,
Get it to the.
just let me know and I'll make
Okay.
changes.
So with that, we going, after we approve this, we approve the 150.
Correct.
Okay?
Well, I think Flacco said 250 because they're putting a lot of time into it.
So
Hey, I don't wanna get no more enemies.
So let's go to
I'm
number.
fine with what I got.
Let's go to number C, discuss and vote on rock pit for lime rock supply. Herminia, I guess that's you.
Okay, so, I went through a lot of different websites. looking for the crushers or the screen. A lot of them goes either from $40,000 to $60,000. They're all used, they're not brand new. They're in a good shape. I don't know if we can afford it right now. If, we keep approving, different projects. Eventually, we're gonna have to do something with it because I don't know if you guys know, but our price, and everybody else, I thought it was only ours, but everybody else's price from retail was increased almost $1.15. So we went from $11.75 to $13.50.
Is that DOT rock?
That's Lime Rock, yes.
Lime rock or DOT rock?
DOT Rock.
DOT, there's a big difference.
$13.50, so that's a big jump.
So most trucks carry about 18 to 20 tons, times that. What does the load cost us now?
Okay, we were paying anything between $240, $250, maybe $260, depending on the weight. Now we're gonna pay $270, $280, even $290.
Why the increase again? Why the increase?
Because they're a private company, they wanna increase it.
Yeah, everybody's increasing that. Come on, man, $2.45 a gallon.
Yeah, that's where I'm going, diesel.
Yeah, so, but real quickly, so we buy a screen to screen what rock?
The one behind Palm 6.
Has it been certified?
Not yet, because of some personal issues with Mr. Bennett, and we haven't been able to actually get back there and get a sample and get it done. And
Because my ultimate goal is, and he's there, and hell, I've said it before, these roads are eventually going to the county, like it or not, so we want to make sure all the specs are what they need to be.
Right, yes.
So, I'm
All in favor?
very adamant about that. They need to be DOT, so later can't say, well, our specs aren't right, we're not accepting this road. I'm telling y'all it's coming, like it or not. So, okay, I would go along with it if it was certified.
And do we know how much material is in there?
We need to get out there. I talked with Armenia, we need to get out there with a big machine. Dig
do the geotech.
Exactly.
It's the original rock.
Is it?
No,
We can get some of
biggest tomato is.
What about other rock pit prices? I know we have sand mines.
Okay, so I called the one on 80.
Okay.
The one that you provide me with the phone number. They're not doing rock right now. They're
Okay.
just doing dirt
Okay.
or field.
Good.
The one on the reservation, your price was a special. So our price was what, Becky? 8 to 9 or.
Yeah, but
865 or something like that?
Yeah, 865 or something.
But again, don't worry about the price, because in this life, everything's negotiable.
Right.
Everything.
But the problem was going to travel.
Right, so
Picking it
talking
up
about
and bringing it
that,
back.
Right.
we can, let's say we can get a really nice price. We still have to pay the travel and
Yes.
the contractors to go get it for us.
So let me just
At the end of the day, we're going in circles.
Right.
How much is, his is 13 total, theirs is 8, how much is travel? At the end of the day, we're going
Okay,
to
so
total
at the end
dollar.
of the day, we're gonna end up paying the same price.
Okay.
270, 280 for, if we bring truck drivers from outside,
Okay.
it's gonna be the same price.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
So this is this is the first I heard of it. This is a rock pit that already exists.
Right.
So it's no permitting issues?
It's in the reservoir.
Yeah, this is inside the reservoir. It's the rock pit that they used originally to build some of the roads in the early 90s and mid-90s area. They had Ridgedale come in and actually dig the pit and actually haul it to build some of the main roads that they done here. That's what they done. Now, and I think it's a good idea that we get the rock from this area because it would help us save a lot of money. Just please keep in mind, let's try to use less impact to that reservoir. I mean, it is a sanctuary, so.
Let me ask another question. As we're brainstorming, what is Mr. Ridgedale's price if we went and picked it up? And you didn't ask?
I forgot.
So if you could get,
what was it?
there's another rock pit right there on 82 as well. There's one on 82. There's quite a few within an hour distance from
If
them.
I'm not mistaken, I think he says 9 per ton.
Okay, just check all the boxes. As Benny will tell you, either we're gonna have to get our own trucks, we're gonna either have to bite the bullet or we're gonna have to get creative.
Well, just keep in mind, there's another, there's another, you know, I give you guys some numbers for 2 trucks.
Yes, sir.
That's another motion. I mean, I would, like Josh said, I would really hate to go in the reservoir. Because first of all, we're gonna have to make a road to get there, to get the dump truck to put it, to hold it back.
You're gonna have to spend money putting a culvert there
Yes.
and everything else.
I mean,
You're gonna have a place.
it's gonna take some money to get there.
Crush, sort.
Right.
Yes.
There's room there.
Yeah, there's room there.
That's where we were, when we sat down and we looked at the numbers, what we were looking at was, we spent almost $270,000 last year in materials bought from Ridgedale.
Correct.
And we went took that same money and invested it in what we have here in our backyard. It would have saved the money and we don't have to keep buying it from someone else, and we can keep providing it when we need it.
That's an assumption though.
No, I'm just-
Without geotechnical work and actually seeing how big the formation is, how deep it is, what type of stuff it's, because like for instance, certain areas, you hit cap rock, there's certain type of machines that don't get rid of cap rock.
All these,
That's why you got to do geotechnical work.
Under the same,
Yeah.
having the test done.
Right, what Becky is explaining is based on
Yes.
his fees, it's still good to go
Correct.
there
And do it, I mean, again,
So-
we spoke about this back in October.
We did.
In a meeting, and Mr. Bennett is gonna do, you gave him the right to go do the testing.
Correct.
To see how much we have available.
Mhm.
Is that, you do the geotech, the borings yourself? Or you
No,
got
we
the contract?
So-
send that out to GFA.
And how much, yeah, and they're very good. How much does that cost in geotech work?
I'd have to get a proposal from them.
I have a solution to the problem.
Well, if there's enough rock there and it's certified, it's not even, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
There's a lot of ifs there.
Right.
Gotta figure out how far. Because I know Grass Line, where you showed it to me, it's pretty far from where it's at, all the way to Central County.
Then-
Nobody's out there.
No. I took you all the way to the back. The pit that we're talking about
Right
is
there on the
between,
road, right off the road, isn't it? It's right off the road, right?
yeah, it's between 5 and 6. So we will have to put a cover depending on spec.
Hunting club, horse
engineer,
club.
so we can make
Yes.
a road to go
It should be
across
yes.
and so we can hold it back.
Yeah, remember they did a second ditch on the inside.
Cabbage Farm, right? Cabbage Farm?
They still have to have a big culvert.
Mr. Bennett, with that being said, do you foresee any issues with us, even though it kind of is ours, but it's not really ours? Do you foresee any issues with South Florida Water Management saying, hey, by the way, I don't like that, what you're doing?
Back, when Rock was the engineer here, they actually contacted Water Management District and, I think there's a letter in the file that they had no problem with it. As long as we were.
That, I think, could it help our water?
The district would have problems if you put a fill. You're just making more storage, they're
That's
happy.
exactly.
They want more storage, that's what they're after.
Make
They
some more
basically
storage.
just said
Good
stay
deal.
out of the wetlands and do what we
Hey,
want.
don't say that too loud because Josh might start crying.
Well, like the Falco talk, I mean, you know, it's a good idea, and that there isn't, from what I've seen and what I've known from the past of working there, there was still a lot of shell rock. Now, how much, I don't know. But it is
That's
there.
what the geotech.
And that's the geotech would actually help out.
That's correct.
And it would also, like, in the process of finishing up the actual, because we can't just dig it and leave a 9, 12-foot drop. They have to shave it off so that they give it
A
size.
slope.
So, and that's what we were talking, it's like, that would be good something for the reservoir, because we used to swim there.
Right.
You know, and it would kind of, it would complete, make a circle with everything.
It'd be great.
We
As long as we don't do a big
could,
impact.
we could utilize it in the future. Okay. So what do you need from us, from any, or from the board this evening with this?
Geotech permit?
Right, we need to wait for all the tests and all that, and then we can talk about either going with the truck and hire 2 more employees or 3 employees with 3 trucks, or we can dig out of our own pit.
I can
All right,
come back.
so going forward, what you actually, we don't need to vote on anything. We just need to give you permission to find a price for our next meeting for geotech.
Yeah.
See how much it's gonna cost us on that, and we move forward as needed with the board.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's
it'll probably be within the amount you can approve.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna be higher than $10,000, so.
No.
Probably, Probably between 5 and 10, yeah.
Between 5 and 10?
Well,
As long as it's not higher than 10.
between 5 and 10, $5,000, I could go on vacation, but that's what it is. You can't go $5,000 vacation, that's okay.
So let's work on that, Mr. Bennett, get the geotech, get the scene, see what we have, see if it's worth doing it. Hopefully it is, hopefully there's still quite a bit of material there. And then, we'd have to figure out how Benny's gonna get more equipment.
Okay.
All
Is
right?
there a possibility that we could even, after we get started with that, maybe even actually sell rock, show rock?
That's Rolling
And make money from that?
When you get a driveway permit, you also have to buy the rock.
From us?
We're gonna buy all that from somewhere.
No, no, I'm saying full circle.
But we'll do it for a circle. Then we'll rent, you know, the keys are not gonna be 150 anymore. Now you're gonna go to 300 or 400 because people are gonna go in there. They're gonna go in there swimming and all that kind of stuff, you know, all that.
Can we work together?
Sauce. All right.
So again, it'll be a resort. It'll be for you guys, instead of Pine Lake, we'll have something out there privatized. People are dumping stuff in Pine Lake. They're not gonna be able to dump it out here because we've got security and we'll get all that out there.
Hey, can we start charging for the dumpster too?
All right, let's move on.
We're gonna move on, bro, appreciate that. Let's,
2021, remember that.
D, replacing 2 part-time positions for 1 full-time. Herminia, I guess you have the floor on this one?
Right, so as you guys know, maybe the new board members doesn't know, but through the 3 years that we've been working together with the board, or the board has been working together with me and my employees, the board approved 3 different part-time that we have never used for money reasons. So we save money by not getting the part-time. So with all the amount of work that we have, the first thing I asked the board 3 years ago was that we need more heavy equipment operators, and I was always denied. So there's 3 part-times approved already by the board as a part-time. So between the 3 of them is about 80-something hours between the 3 of them. If we actually will get those 3 part-time or 2 of the part-times and make it into a full-time, it will be really helpful.
You gotta be more specific than that to do what?
To do swells, to do boom mower, so I don't have to get the boom mower guy from here and send him to,
So what you're looking at, so basically what you're looking at is you're having 2 part-timers without no benefits, okay? 2 part-timers without no benefits, to hire 1 person that will have benefits and can give you, go the extra mile, a full-time, to give you the benefit to go the extra mile for Central County versus the 2 part-timers that we don't have. So nobody's gonna go out there for no benefits or anything like that.
So just so you have an idea, Central County we've been struggling, and the board knows this. We've been struggling with a lot of different achievements because of the amount of manpower. We still were able to make it, but with some magic. And the reason for that is, like I said before, and I think I mentioned it a lot of times, for example, my boom mower operator is also one of my CDL drivers. And my other CDL driver is a excavator operator. And the guy that does inspections is also my grader operator. So for example, right now, we can only do 3.5 days of grading roads, so we can do inspections and stakes. Because, as you guys know, last year we did about 300 new covers. And, you know, some weeks we don't use it because it's not that many covers. But for example, last week, it was 17 of them.
So you're saying
1 week.
you're getting the butter out of the duck, what you're telling me?
Let's call them multi, let's call them.
So I've been picking up on inspections, for example. If there's a lot of inspections, I'll take it away from them so they can do only stakes. Otherwise, they won't finish on the same day. And that's when Friday is coming along. Then we gotta do a stake on Fridays too. If I wanna finish in 1 day, I still have to get my 2 certified guys and send them on a different ways to do all the stakes in 1 day.
Have you done the math on the one versus the 2 part-times? I haven't, I don't even know what the numbers are.
You just said the numbers.
The
Two
math?
part-time, two
Yeah,
part-time.
the math, you're gonna, if 2 part-timers, no benefits, 1 full-timer with benefits, yeah.
The benefits are what, like 30% of
30%.
salary?
Benefits are on that, like 30%, so remember, we got three
part-time.
Oh, 3
part-time.
Oh, so it should be a
We're gonna
wash.
make two,
That's
we're
what I'm
gonna make two into a full-time, and the third one will pay for the benefits of this one.
So it's a wash, like you said, that's why I'm asking, it sounds like it would be.
I thought you said 2, it's for 3. It should
Well,
be-
yeah, it's
It says
three.
2 right here.
But we're only using 2 into a full-time, so the third one, we're saving that money, that's $20-something thousand. We can use it into the benefits of that full-time, and we get another full-time operator.
Mr.
Who put the spotlights in?
District Manager, where do we see this coming out of? Out of what budget do we see this coming out of?
That budget is all together under salaries and everything else.
Employees, right?
Huh?
Employees.
Yeah, salary,
I see it right here.
Mr. Boyd knows the line items better than me.
What's the negative one?
Salary, wages, taxes, insurance, and FRS.
Yes, I see it right here.
Trains are good. That's good.
Danny, what's the negative one? You got a negative one?
I make a motion
Let's
about
do
it.
it.
All right, do we have a motion on the floor?
He does, second.
We have a motion, we have a second, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, there's no one opposed, motion carries. Motion carries.
Hey, I was gonna say, I was gonna encourage, a lot of counties are doing this, because of the problem that you're running with having to swap guys around. Every time any county now hires a heavy equipment operator, they have to have a CDL run, at least Class B.
Right.
That way you don't run into that problem, and that's what a lot of them are doing, like Glades County, Henry County, every single one, if you run a piece of heavy equipment, you have to have a CDL.
Right, now, the thing with that, Josh, let me explain to you, it's funny, but it's true. So, we open up a new position on Central County, right? We get maybe 3 applications for heavy equipment operator, no more than 3. I mean, the last time we get how many? 5? 5, okay, none of them have a CDL.
We'll make a contract for them to be hired before they go through the 90 days, they've got to get a CDL.
Okay, so what we do is because of the board, I asked the board, 2 years ago, that the board, put some money on the side for our employees to be certified and, you know, so we using that money
That's
to
the way
at least get a really good heavy equipment operator, and we give him the opportunity like we done. We have 2 because of that, 3 because of that. So my way to see it is I'm not gonna let go a really good heavy equipment operator just because it doesn't have the CDL when I got 3 more. And I can still send him to the school for $1,000 and he gets his CDL in 1 week.
All right, well, let's have a sidebar on that, because, again, let's just get back to this agenda, 'cause we're not even done with the profession. Thank you.
2 minutes for the next 6 months.
No, you bring up a great point, Josh, you bring a great point. You bring a great point, brother, you do bring a great
Thank you,
point.
but 6 months.
The next one is E, discuss vote, I don't wanna vote on it, I just wanna bring it to light. Mr. Board, can you bring up, this is before my time, so just to refresh the board on this loan payment for the levy and what we're talking about and how we're tackling this thing?
We got a bond to Central, Center State, back when, I think it was 15, maybe, 2015, to do all that work. I think that they can tell you more about what that is. But anyway, I think it was like 2.1 million or something, but it's down to 1.6 million now.
Well, there it is, Benny, the 1.6.
There it is.
But we collect, I don't have the number, but I think it's like $23 out of our $220 is debt assessment.
Oh, yeah.
So that debt is being paid in 2 semi-annual payments of $71,000 each, which is principal and interest.
Yes, sir.
And right now, it's being paid through special revenue tax.
I remember that. What's the rate of interest?
3.5.
So let me.
Can you refinance?
Well, I was gonna ask this question, Mr. Boyd. So this has a lot to do with amortization, correct? Amortization table, amortization calculator?
Yeah.
So like, for instance, is there a way, like a lot of people do on houses, they'll pay the house, they'll pay half the house payment on the 1st, they'll pay the other half on the 15th?
Talking about bonds, it's
Okay.
very restrictive.
Understood.
And the point he's raising, and I think somebody should look into this, some bonds actually prohibit you from paying this back.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But with the rates being lower, maybe.
Can we look into that, because that's a debt that we're gonna have for quite a while, that's 1.6 million that we have to tackle, and we're using how much, 76,000 a year to this?
But we're also getting tax, that's being paid for by the tax.
We collected extra taxes for that, that's not.
Out of the 200,
I remember that.
out of the $220, I think about 23 of it says debt service on it.
So we're not hurting on that right now.
So wait a minute, so you're saying, listen,
We're not getting to
so we pay that off, the $23, we don't get it
It
back.
goes away, exactly. It's right.
So we don't want to pay it off right now at all?
There's no incentive.
No, leave it alone. Let's burn up that 1.5 million somewhere else. Burn it up.
And there's a lot of intricacies,
Next year.
bond restrictions. and
Yeah.
stuff. The audit report mentions bond covenants and restrictions, not in detail, and it was before my time.
Is there any other big debt besides this one that?
The only other debts we have are these tractor rates. That's the only other.
Okay.
John, I just want to mention this. John's, when I first came to this board 20 years ago, that reservoir was $1 million. No one would vote with me but to do it. I just like to say, I
No, I heard the price doubled.
It was $1 million. And then it went
That's
to,
the change order, right?
Yeah, $1 million.
Not including the change order. You get what you pay for, remember that now. All right, we're gonna go on our staff report. Mr. Manager, do you have a report to give us?
he's done.
Or are you complete?
Don't ask for no money.
Most of the stuff we already talked about.
Wait, Emilio, 2 seconds. And when we discussed about the rock pit and the line supplies, the geotech, you guys approved it for Mr.,
In an amount not to exceed 10,000.
that's what thank you.
Right.
I didn't hear that part either. We didn't approve, Doug. We wanted to hear first how much it was gonna be.
Send us a text.
So say 5 to 10.
Or an email.
Oh, I thought you were gonna.
Okay, so they didn't vote on it, and Rolly is right. We did not vote on it because when I asked Mr. Bennett how much he think it was gonna be, he said it was gonna be between 5 and 10. And I said, if it's less than 10, we don't need the approval from the board. But if you guys wanna go ahead and approve it, just in case it's more than 10,
Just send us an email.
Just so we can feel comfortable.
Let us know.
okay.
Yes.
Put us in there.
I understand that 10, you're up to 9,999, you can approve it?
No,
Wait,
I'm up to 10,000.
Zero, okay.
10,000.
Yeah, I know you approved that, but you know what, we just want to be able to
Don't
hear.
get that penny away from me.
Just clarification.
Any more things with your
And
report?
remember-
I see you guys going out there, I see you put the field around the corners where we turn.
Right,
I
so-
see we take out can we give it up? Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, we already talked about everything on my report. One of the more important parts era to bring about the meeting that we did with Mr. Betancourt.
Okay.
Like I said, we explained everything to him, he understands everything. He understands that I don't have anything against
Good.
nobody.
Good.
So he agreed to fix the covers.
Yes, sir.
And he'll call me back when he's ready.
Good.
And we just go back and do the inspections on it.
Okay. Let me ask you, what does the board as well as the district manager think? I've noticed a lot of people in our community now, and I'm really surprised how fast our people go through here.
Right.
Are you guys of the idea maybe we need to put speed bumps, speed humps, something to deter the traffic going so fast? I mean, have you noticed that?
Right, the board went through that some times ago. I think it was Denise that bring it up, and I got the prices and everything. And the whole idea was, especially on the actual, like Hacienda Avenida, the club, hunting club and Hacienda to put bombs. you know, whatever the DOT is.
Just on the pavement roads?
Yeah.
Right, just on the paved roads.
Just a minute.
Just asking.
Don't we need, shouldn't we have a DOT, some kind of study? We used to do them.
Yep.
Before we put a stop sign or anything, we get some kind of
Little box.
some backing on that, because that way we're not hanging up there.
There are DOT
Yeah.
specs, signage requirements.
Well, that's the reason why it was stopped at that moment, because all the study and all
You
the.
guys feel that we have a need for that, or should we just?
I think it's a good idea. However, I would like to see,
there's an amount on it as well.
see what the DOTs, because we always use those specs. I don't remember, Rocky used to have some, I don't remember what he did, but you always check to make sure we were within where we needed to be. So I think we need to do the same under those circumstances.
So-
Where can you put them? How high can they be? Because if not, somebody gets hurt, you know, guess what?
Any DOT nowadays will take about 2 years.
Can you look into that, Mr.
I
Bennett?
will.
Yeah.
Please, just
So
in case.
just for the records, it is a good idea. I mean, I seen it.
Just don't put them on my road.
You know, it's just, the last time we put speed bumps, the last time we put a speed bumps, it was put over here on Camino Rio, and that's a hot spot of accidents. I mean, it's been 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the speed bumps push and pull for accidents or.
Well, that's why I'm concerned about some kind of DOT space,
Yeah.
because we don't want to take that liability.
Yes, he does. Oh, hold on one second. Dave.
One thing I want to mention.
Do we have any more questions? Go ahead.
One thing I want to mention, I'm glad that wait till the iglesias here.
Oh.
No,
Oh, yeah.
sorry. Some concerns I have from the citizens, I mean, from the residents of Montour, right here in front of the post office, okay? We have double yellow line, solid yellow lines right there in the roof.
That's us.
That's us.
That's us.
Okay, that's us, okay? Good. Okay, listen, thank you. I have been receiving complaints, okay, that people coming into the post office, make the left right there, in front of the post office, or people coming out, like me, you know, like all of us. The Henry County Sheriff Office doing the job, have given some residents of Montour around some tickets, because they're entering the post office, crossing the double solidly yellow lines, or they're exiting the post office.
Turn left.
Make a left in the Hacienda.
Going south.
So that's an issue that I believe we should take care of, because there is 2 yellow solid lines. I believe that if we can break those 2 solid lines, so legally people can make a left when they come into the post office, or when they're getting out from the post office, making a left in the Hacienda.
Mr. Bennett, can you look into that? I'm pretty sure there's a reason for 2 double line, but can you look at it, because that makes sense as well.
They have an officer here as well, you know, it reminds me, I want to bring it up. Dominguez,
He's a deputy, sheriff deputy.
I don't know, he's a very important person, he's got a badge. Well, a couple of years ago, one of my drivers backed into a guy, driver, straight down the road. He jumped right in front of my driver, and he attempted to make a left turn. But right before he made the left turn, he pressed the brakes and crashed right into him. So what he said was, I was gonna turn into my community. Yes, he was gonna turn, but he was going to a double line. Now, the FHP gave the driver the ticket, my driver, the ticket, because they say that if you're gonna go into a service, if you're gonna drive into a specific area that you need access to, crossing that yellow line, you're allowed to. And Mr. Santana just brought up a good point there. So what is your take on that? Because what is the law on that when you're making a left turn? I understand you're not supposed to cross the double yellow line.
Double yellow lines are made for people not to pass the show.
But you can turn, right?
You can turn.
Yes,
you can legally turn as long as you signal.
And you signal into.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like down on Flacco, there's areas where it's double line.
Yes, sir.
There's areas where there's single line.
That's
And
correct.
that's why you'll see people passing each other. It's completely legal if it's dotted line.
So
if it's double yellow line, you're not supposed to pass.
So
Usually,
you gotta take the
they
driver's
have
license.
it here because it's too close to a stop sign, and they have to yellow line it because they don't want people passing each other right at the stop sign.
Right, so maybe they've gotten ticketed for doing something incorrect, and we're talking about that yellow line, which is, you know.
No, they got ticket because they were coming to the post office or exit.
Yeah, that's allowed though. They should take that to court. Yeah, because the sign's
That's what I'm
red.
saying, it's not.
Yeah, see, all of that is easy, just Florida state statute.
In your
Thank you.
driver's handbook.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any questions for the board for Mr. Armino? We've got a couple of questions from the
Yeah.
Go ahead, your question? Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, actually, I had two comments. Well, the two things you brought up. The first one being the sand that you guys put on the corners. I was wondering if you guys can like clean that up, because I'm about, the reason why is because me and some friends were riding our motorcycles, and the sand that you put becomes very slick.
Okay.
I've almost dropped my bike 2 times now.
It's on the road already.
Right. That was, just in my opinion, I don't think that was some good material, or if we can get it pushed, you know, like kind of diverted somehow.
But those are the ATVs running over.
Thank you.
I saw this weekend, I saw the ATVs going over this weekend.
Yes.
And they hit them right on the edge.
When we put it on, there was nothing on the road. Now, the ATVs, if you notice in the corner of the clubhouse,
Right here, right there.
I'm gonna have to fill them
I
out
almost
because it's a
dropped my
whole.
bike coming right here.
Crazy.
The question is, and I understand that, you know, it's ATVs, who's gonna take my medical bill when I come around that corner and it's slick, and then I have my attorney come out and see what type of.
But I think we may be using, the
It's
wrong
an
word for
asphalt
that
road,
corner.
so take it to
Okay?
Henry
Look
County.
into that.
I mean, and no, and don't get me wrong, I wouldn't, personally, I'm not the type of person.
No,
but
no,
it's-
no,
but it's
that's a
hard
good
to
point.
put out there.
That's a good point, because I ran through it right now in the corner right here, as I was making a turn into the Marys, and it's very slick as well.
We gotta get some, another one of them stings out here on these four-wheelers though. They're starting to tear up the roads again. I'm starting to hear them and see them all the time.
That's why I was saying, if we could all get together and get a hold of the sheriff department again.
Your second question, David?
Okay, my second comment was about your speed humps. All right, I know you guys discussed it before, and I've had a discussion with some of the people that they're no longer here about the speed humps. The speed humps in Montura is going to be a waste of money, in my opinion. One, you guys are going to spend all this money to an evaluation to put them out here and everything else. You're going to accomplish 2 things. You're going to stop traffic on those roads because you're not going to put humps on every single road.
No.
So what's going to happen is if you put them down Hacienda, they're going to speed down Mayor Route. You put them on Mayor Route, they're going to speed down Hacienda, they're going to speed down Cabrera. The second thing is, only thing you are really going to accomplish is that, as Mr. Centeno was just saying, it takes a long time for first responders to get there. You know it's going to take even longer. We're not going to run our equipment 45, 50 miles an hour over a speed hump. I would suggest maybe the vibration strips or some other things, but humps that's not going to produce anything.
So, I agree.
Good point.
I agree.
Good point, very good point.
Every 2 blocks, put a stop sign.
What?
They'll never
They'll never get there. Oh, we got lights.
Oh, we got lights signs.
We got lights.
You can run the stop sign.
Or stop sign.
Well, we can't even keep the stop sign.
Yeah, we can't afford it, it's still.
We got the floor.
Oh, I was just gonna let you know, and I don't know if you were gonna mention it, Chair, about the meeting for February 9th. I did get the call from Henry County, Board of Commissioners, that it will be here at the clubhouse on the 9th.
Okay, meeting for what?
And so they were gonna come out, they were gonna contact the office to see, you know, how to set up everything. I told her a lot of the stuff that we already have, so.
That's
They're gonna have their meeting here. They used to do that every so many
That's gonna
months.
be the regular meetings.
She's gonna get back with me with all the details,
All you do is put it on the website.
so.
Put it on.
Advertise it everywhere so they can come in here and crowd.
They talked about it last night.
Yeah.
That would be the time that the people that have issues, that'd be. the
One
time.
thing I want to mention, now you talk about speed bumps, I believe maybe we should consider putting 4 stop signs in Camino Real and Quebrada. I have seen a few accidents since I'm here. You responded well, and I don't know why people they don't stop at the stop sign in Camino Real, and they have few accidents in the 2 years and a half that I've been here.
Well, that's the same thing with Montura and Hacienda. There's a lot of them. It's a lot of them, but it's not. Now, keep in mind, it is a good idea, but keep in mind that that has to be through DOT. They have to go and do a study. It's not like the board says, okay, let's put a stop sign. You know, it has to be right.
If it will be beneficial for the safety.
Right.
Because I can tell you this four-way stop sign at Dilser and Merrill, they still run it. They still run it all the time.
They run this one right here. 30 miles per hour. That's stop sign
I've
right
already
there.
hit that warning violation.
All right,
Deputy Hunter.
so good. Mr. Bennett, you have the floor, engineer. Great question. That's a great question.
I think you guys pretty much talked about everything I had.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Bennett? Huh, you and me both, brother. I earned him $25 a day after taxes. Oh, anybody have any questions for Mr. Bennett on the
He
board?
not use his 2 minutes for next month.
Gotcha. All right. Mr. Boyd, Treasury report, please.
Quickly here, we dispersed $220,900 every month. Our tax assessment, we've got $1,051,000 left. Get this the rest of the year. Collected $552,000 in the month of December. And, current year collections were $200,000 over last year, which would just be a timing catch up.
Yes, sir.
Delinquent tax collections are down by 28,000. As far as the budget, we're 3 months into the year, and we're about 23% under budget.
We haven't started spending money.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't spent, we're talking about spending a lot of money, but it hasn't been done.
Correct.
Good. Unless, if you don't have any questions, otherwise,
Anybody have any questions for Mr.
We
Boyd
can,
and the
we can
budget?
still do a lot of money. Trust me.
Yeah, we're going to do a lot of magic. We done did some magic today.
Sometimes I do have to sit down, relax, call Becky, talk with Becky for a little bit so I can go back and.
Great job.
Becky does the almost with me, so.
You know what they,
You might need a raise.
you know what they say, there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time to save, there's a time to spend, there's a time to do a lot of things. Right now, unfortunately, we're in the spending phase because of many years, things not being accomplished. So we have a lot of big challenges that we have to overtake, as the board knows. And that's what we're here for, but we're not gonna make every right decision. Don't take it personal because we don't have an unlimited budget, right? We only have a limited supply, so certain things are going to take priority over other things. So thank you. Continue to keep doing the good work. I appreciate the staff. I appreciate the way these facilities look. I appreciate the stuff that we're doing out in our community. It really shows. And hopefully with this 1.6 that we landed, grant money, that we can do a lot of greater things here in the near future.
Mr. Famero,
We gotta go.
sorry,
I forgot about the committee for the.
hold on. We're gonna work on that as well. But again, thanks for all your help. But I know we're gonna work you a little bit harder. You're not getting a performance review, but the previous performance review that you set up for Herminio, it looked really good. But can we simplify it a little bit more? I looked over it with my years of experience in retail and performance. I think we just need to simplify it a little bit more, make it a lot easier and a little bit understandable, very simple. Okay, and I think moving forward, we can use that maybe. Is that the same one you use for the employees, when you do a performance review for employees?
No, I came up with that one.
You just came up with that one?
Put adoption of performance review at the next meeting. And again, if anybody has any comments.
I think it was great, we'll just need to simplify it, a little bit easier.
Has everyone else
Okay.
looked at it?
I'm serious.
I haven't even seen it.
But you were here, yes, you were here, last week. Yeah, we still last week. Yeah.
You weren't paying attention.
We're talking about giving the roads to Henry County.
Yeah, that's what, my mind's over.
You just gave mine is a 1.6, now 1.6.
Money in roads.
And again, again, it's just now overworking on that because, again, we want to continue moving forward.
I just want to have a process and a form, but we can get back to doing what technically.
Yes, and we've got to figure out how to get this 298 a little bit more profitable, to catch up on all the expenses, that we've had throughout the years that we haven't been able to, raise those taxes or anything like that.
And the other thing that we need to work on, and we're doing it, and forgive us, even though we are in 2021, if there's policies and procedures that we don't have in place, that we need to put in place, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. John, the floor is yours for the attorney report.
Yeah, we've gone over most of my items. There's one, and I'm glad the commissioner's here, just to let you know, Margaret contacted me maybe a month ago.
Okay.
She is, I think she's still trying to get everyone, she's attempting to get a meeting together between the Florida Department of Protection,
FDP,
Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, and South Florida Water Management District to talk about the Hendry County Land Use Study and water quality issues, because, and I'm just going off of her email from December 28th, when you have 50 chickens versus 5, or 15 goats, or horses, tell me if this is true or not. Does a horse, 70 pounds a day?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. So,
He shits 70 pounds a day and he eats all the grass all the way to the roots.
Yeah, he pulls the roots up.
He destroys big mountains.
and I don't know if Margaret's spoken to you about it, but the point is that when you get to a certain point with animals, it has an implication for water quality in the community, because we got canals everywhere. So when there's a rain, guess what happens? Boom, there's a flush of animal waste that gets in the canal systems. You have algal blooms and just like a golf course, you have a lot of nutrients, phosphorus. Boom, you get these big, and then over time, there's a lot of sedimentation.
Yes.
Ammonia, all that. There's a lot of sedimentation then that settles in those canals that needs to be scooped out, for lack of a better term.
Look at the dairies. Look at the dairies that every Okeechobee. They got hit hard for that.
Yeah.
The dairies got hit hard for that.
And so that's, and Commissioner, that's one of the things, that pushed this whole thing was those fish farms.
The fish farms is started this year.
But anyways, I just wanted to let you know that she's trying to organize a meeting of all these agency people. You can see she started to do it just before the holidays. She had a meeting, it got canceled, some people couldn't make it, so it still hasn't happened. But when it does, I will let you know what's going on with that. I'm appreciative that she invited me to participate. We're part of it, yeah.
Good. Okay. Anything else? Anything else, John? Any questions for the attorney, board?
One thing I want to mention with all respect, I hear that the cleanliness of the water and all that, the safety, but we're surrounded by ranches. They have horses, they have cows, they have pigs, they have everything. See, I just want to be fair.
Let me say something real quick. If we use the same ratio they have, it'll be one horse per 2.5 acres. Because you gotta remember, the ranches you're talking about are hundreds of thousands of acres, and they're not piled up 50 homes on one lot. Remember that? Yes, go ahead, please.
I know, I'm
Point that out.
maybe I know.
We ain't gonna agree on that one.
Hey, I need to believe you don't want animals in Monturo.
I want them, but I don't want them piled up 2 miles.
No, you don't want 50 pigs in one acre, you don't want 40 pigs, you don't want 200 cows in one acre. I understand.
Don't want them. Don't use them.
I was trying to speak before he interrupted.
And Mr. Santana raises a good point. But also keep in mind that those landowners, and you probably know this too, they gotta put in BMP, special management.
Yep.
They go through a lot of hoops to have their cows on.
But they have a cow per 3 acres.
And they have to measure the water
Can I
quality.
finish my opinion, please? If you go to Pioneer, you want to see a lot of goats in 1 acre. You're going to see a lot of cows in 1 acre. You go to Flag Hole, you have a lot of friends there. I am not against they have animals in Flag Hole. I am not against they have animals in Pioneer. You go to Flag Hole and you see a lot of goats, pigs, chickens. I got friends that have them. I'm in favor of that. I got friends that have it in Pioneer. I said, so why are gonna come over here in Montura and restrict us only? I have an issue with it.
No, that's up to the county.
I would like an answer for the county. Why we are the one, the chosen one, to be restricted
Okay.
in Henry County?
So watch this.
Even in the well, I seen in one acre of land, lot of goats, lot of pigs, lot of chickens. Don't feed the chickens. Feed the chickens.
So again,
Why are they coming to Montura to restrict us only? I have an issue with it.
again, those concerns need to be brought up into the commission and the commission, but not right now. This is not what this is about.
No, but I was answering what Mr. Fumero was saying.
Yes, you can ask Mr. Famero privately if you want to.
What he was saying of quality of the water.
Yes, sir.
Those people that have water too.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All I'm saying, that's a meeting that the county is organizing.
That's right.
But relay the message to Mr. Martin, Mrs. Martin. You know, why we are the only one that we are picking on the restricted animals. Nobody else.
You know, if they have that commission meeting here, Mr. Santana, and I think Mr. Iglesias can speak to this. If we want to make a difference, we want to make a change, we need to get it. We need to, no. We need to get involved. We need to put our butts in those seats instead of passing the buck. Exactly.
Everybody here complains about.
That's a good comment.
I'll put it out, say live out there on that camera. Everybody complains on Facebook. Everybody complains about something about Montura, but none that's looking at this. If you guys could turn that camera, there's only three to four people in here right now, okay, sitting in this room, okay. But all there is very simple, okay. We complain on a daily basis about Montura, but nobody comes out here when there's meetings. The meetings are posted constantly. All the information, the agendas are on there, but nobody comes out. We mentioned, when I ran for election, I wanted people to come out here and voice their opinion, okay? And some did, but at the end of the day, they do not come out here. We're in January already, all right? This is our second one, I'm sorry? Second is November 3rd. This is our third meeting already. And this is the third empty meeting that I've been to, okay? And not just Santana's gonna fight for the animals, okay? But he's gonna be your advocate for the animals, as he's sounding like. But you guys need to come out and speak your mind.
Good thing. Say something real quick. I agree with what you said, and I've been saying that for 20 years. And unfortunately, they just won't come out. And not just here, they need to go to the commission meetings.
Yes, sir.
And that's the reason why we quit having meetings here and started having them.
But with all respect to Mr. Rolly Gonzalez, and with all respect to Mr. Benny Alvarez, when Mr. Matas called for people to come in here,
Yes, sir.
12th of December, right?
Yes, sir.
This was full. They came over here.
Yes, sir, they were.
This was full. And 90% of them were in favor of having animals and maintaining like we have it right now. They don't want no restriction on animals. That's the majority of them. And you can be witness to that.
But again, we're not running that. We're just water.
Exactly.
Water district.
That's what I want to emphasize. That we are a water district. Yes, you are. So I'm gonna put you on the spot, Mr. Iglesias, so you can answer. And you know we haven't discussed this. How many people, you were here at that meeting, how many people from that, how many residents have reached out to you about the issues with the animals? Not going on Facebook, but literally reached out to you, have meetings with you, sat down with you.
I've only been reached out by Denise Miller and the other guy on CCOM, I can't think of their name.
Daniel.
No, it's the older.
Norman.
They called me on the phone, we had some conversations, but I don't have a lot of people coming out and voicing their opinion. Just, you know, now when I go to the meetings, I hear them, no, granted.
Of course.
But it's just, like I said before, it's a process of finding a happy medium, not just saying,
yes,
I pay taxes and I get to do whatever I want. You made a comment about why are they just working on this area? Because right now, that's what the study's for. Just like when you fix the road, you fix one road, you don't fix every road at the same time. It's in sections, but that happened way before I started.
Right. But one thing I just wanted him to answer, our community, one, I appreciate your passion, we don't show a consistency. If we would be consistent, the ball would move further. But again, we come in here to voice, but then now the thunder went away. That's all I'm saying.
No, with all respect, I have the major respect for you, Mr. Iglesias. But you represent the resident of Montura Ranch. You represent them. You are the elected official of the residents of Montura Ranch. So you have to defend the rights of the resident of Montura Ranch.
Correct.
Well,
But
he's a board of
you
five.
also need to understand that I'm one of 5. Okay,
But
one
no, I
of 5.
understand, but you have to.
But you also need to understand there are residents that are for animals, and then there are residents that are against animals.
But
That's
the
the idea of having
Yeah, I
a
understand,
balance,
but
and trying to find out how
the
you
big
both work together.
majority are in favor of big.
That's not what the paperwork shows, though.
Oh, I don't believe in it. I don't believe in the I don't believe in it.
Well, I saw it.
I believe in
I do believe that Biden won though, but we're gonna move on. I believe Biden won legally. Let's move on, district.
It's on paper, it's on paper.
And we got some
It's all
swamp land to
together.
sell you the desert, too.
It's all together, it's always been together.
Clubhouse is finished.
Clubhouse,
Yeah.
we're doing painting, we're doing.
So can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Oh,
I'm sorry, we gotta go through our board members, yes, I forgot.
I have a,
Thank you for reminding me.
I have a proposal here for what I've been discussing for many months now.
Yes, sir.
This gentleman is, came very highly recommended.
Okay.
And he will do the comparisons. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, for the board, Mr. Bennett needs to go, do you guys need him?
No,
I think we're good.
unless he's gonna vote on this with me. Hope you feel better, the wife feels better, you take care of yourself, all right?
Thank you, Mr.
That's
Bennett.
safe, thank you, turn around.
Everyone has this, open it, look at it. This guy will do the study we want, so we know exactly where we stand on our tax roll in the county. It's gonna cost us some money, but
Do we have a number?
Does it look,
$8,000.
does it look promising?
Hey, it's what we discussed and it's what we asked for.
It's cheaper than a geotech.
But I will tell you, this is gonna give us the number we want. So when we see these numbers, we'll say, we go after Raymond or we don't.
I just saw this now for the first time.
Is that something you can do, Mr.
Y'all
President?
want to know why the commissioners don't come out here.
So it's not,
I had to listen to many of it.
it's not a lot of money, but I think it's because they're not gonna do anything. Because if you read this, I've read this twice just sitting here, all they're gonna do is go to Flaghold, Drainage District, Pioneer, all these other areas and say, which you can do on your, you don't have to leave your office, go on your computer, go to their website, say, they assess X.
Right.
So it's $8,000 for them to just pull that together. I'll do it for half. But no, but seriously.
If you'll do it for half, you got it. Because that's what we want. And it's like pulling
Don't get me
teeth.
wrong.
Yeah.
This is a step in the right direction.
Yes.
I'd almost like to add something because remember, Flaghold, Pioneer, they have ad valorem taxes. So we're gonna have apples and oranges.
No. What I want, and this is, and he gets it. What I want is, if you have a $100,000 property in Flaghold, what are your taxes a year? Grand total of everything you pay, say it's $20. If you have a $100,000 property in Montura, what are your taxes a year? Is it per 100,000? Is it $20? So that's what we're gonna get at the end of this. Is the total. They're all different. They all have different funding. Money comes from different places. Money goes to different places. I don't care. I want to know, what we talked about here was, we wanted to know where we stood. Do we have to raise taxes because we're lower than everybody else? We raise taxes and life goes on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, are we higher than everybody else? Which I believe we are, and then we go get him, then we go get him. That's what this is going to tell us. It's a lot of money, but I've been after this paper for 5 months and I still haven't got it. Nobody wants to fool with it.
John, can you look at it?
Nobody wants to fool with it.
This is a step in the right direction for sure. Because the day, the first year I started working here, the board, Denise was here, we wanted to raise the annual maintenance fee by
$220. I think it was like
$10?
No, it was like 15 or 20.
Yeah, something like that, it was something.
There was over 100 people in this room, and we didn't have enough police. There was about to be, I've been doing this for 30 years, I've never seen anything like it.
we hadn't raised the taxes.
You should hear him when he starts talking about it.
Never have. So, and here's the point, there's still a question, in my professional experience.
Yes, sir.
The place does, the taxes aren't what they need to be. They haven't been raised in 20 years. But before you raise a nickel, you better have all the data and analysis lined up.
Thank you.
Now, do I think it's gonna make a difference? No. But at least when you go to home at night,
Check the box.
you're gonna know that you did everything you could do
We checked the
to
box.
have the justification for a nickel increase. 'Cause it was
Listen,
wild.
I've been in management all of my life, and I'm sure a bunch of people here have too.
Correct.
And I don't make decisions till I can see numbers.
The data.
And I want to see the numbers. And I do not have the time to get on a computer and do it.
Yeah.
I don't have the time, so somebody's gotta do it.
Yeah. And I can tell you, Underwood does a lot of work for this, water control districts.
So can you look at this so we can?
I did.
So in the
It's not
future, so we can.
So you can do it for half. Great.
I mean, I don't want to, but yes.
So
So basically, what he's doing is, he's gonna look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other areas, including, what is Ladex?
Ladika, it's right beside Pioneer. It's areas like this in the area,
You know, City of LaBelle, City of Cruising, that's apples and oranges.
Well,
I look at a city that provides a whole array of services. You can't compare it to us who provides a fraction.
I added that for curiosity.
All right, 'cause I don't know.
No. What I'm concerned about is Pioneer, Ladika, and Flagler. Now, I thought about it just for the hell of it. I thought, let's put over Houston and LaBelle in there just to see, well, so be it, but I want to see. If you're looking, let's look.
Yeah.
Let's see what the difference is. How much more they're paying than we are.
And that's what we talk
That gives you a base when you're talking to people.
And that's like my mother-in-law, she lives on the
Again,
river.
I think before you raise it a nickel, you better have some justification. And another thing, with all due respect, I said, which I thought was a mistake by the prior board, is when you're gonna raise taxes, I don't care what it's for. You better in the same breath say, and that money's gonna go for X. You can't just say, we need more money. You gotta say, if we get more money, we're gonna do A, B, and C.
We already know what it's for, we just gotta get it.
So you don't walk into a store and take the people's money, they walk out with the product. So at the end of the day,
You have to
we just
plan.
gotta make sure we get that
And that's,
plan going forward.
this is why I've been so adamant about this, because I don't know what, I have an idea what we're gonna see, but I don't know that. And many times I've made, in business, you've thought, well, this was this way, when you really look at the numbers, you go, oh, I'm sure everybody's done it. And so,
John, why don't you work out a number, if that's okay with the chair, work out a number, see what you can charge us on that.
Just put this on the agenda for next, because I do think you have to do something. Because remember, this summer, you begin your budget development process.
Correct.
Get it before then, right?
We have to have a final budget
Yes, sir.
by August.
Yeah.
So
Right.
this is very timely.
Yeah. Let's see what we can do. So again, let's check these marks and
If you
see what's
took
going
off-
on.
Because I love
Appreciate
the
that,
idea
man.
of comparing us to other water control. There's Devil's Garden, Devil's Garden doesn't count. There's some other ones that have people living there.
But you have the experience, you know the knowledge, you know what we're looking at.
Because I just think,
And it doesn't have to be.
no,
It doesn't have to be.
that's just late, that's just for the hell of
but
it.
that's half the contract price is Clewiston and LaBelle.
It's, they're all 1,000, right?
Yeah.
So it's $2,000 for those two added.
Yeah, 2,100.
In my opinion, that'll be the cheapest money we ever spend to know
There's
what,
no
where they are.
question, this is a step in the right direction.
Good deal. So please, let's have it on the next agenda, and everybody please look at it and have any questions, let's bring it through. Thank you.
Yeah, and I haven't read it all the way through, I just brought it because,
Do we have the census numbers? Do we have the actual new census numbers on yet? You're aware, anybody?
I don't remember seeing it. Supervisor Santana, you have anything? We're going to the board. Anything else? I have one thing, the commissioners here as well. Can you link up with somebody from the county and check on that east?
County recreation.
Yes, sir. I'd like to see if we can get some programs here started.
can I say something?
Uh-oh.
Let me say something.
Okay.
He's county ready.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say it before he says anything.
Okay.
We worked for 6 months with the East Rec and, well, that whole deal a few years back. we had it all worked out where we were gonna share everything. West Rec, East Rec, Ventura, everybody was gonna come over here, we were gonna go over there, right?
I don't know.
We came to the board meeting, to this meeting, and the people were swinging off the rafters. They didn't trust them, people were gonna pay no matter what. Because it was gonna be, I can't remember what the money was, but we were gonna have to pay no matter what you're gonna pay. So we worked it out where we were all interlocked, and we're gonna use everybody, the baseball, they could play here, there. I'm just saying, 6 months we worked on it. When I got it to the meeting, they almost killed us. With all that being said, I'm all for moving forward with it, but I just want to tell you what happened last time.
But what do we pay?
What do we pay? $50?
So Eastern,
It's in your taxes.
I went
We
through,
pay
it is on the
$50?
taxes.
So we're still paying.
So
We're
you
paying
go-
and not getting any service.
We're paying it, but we don't get the benefits, right?
Well,
Exactly.
because, right, they told
Sorry,
us we
John,
were gonna have to
sorry.
pay it, but this community and this board that was here at the time caved in and said, okay, and just walk away.
So
And
when
we're still getting paid, we're still
We
charging.
still get
We're still
charged.
When I start my baseball project with
Yes,
my
sir.
wife over here at the clubhouse, this is like maybe 5-6 years ago. I asked for that money, and I was told back then that money is, we paid that money, the residents of Montura paid that money, just like La Liga and everybody else paid that money. And I think you know exactly how much pay everybody separately, because we had that conversation.
less than most of those others.
Yeah, because the number was $150.
Right, so
And then, since we
when
had
I-
rent here, they gave us a break.
Right, so when I asked for that money for that program, I was told that that money was meant to be $100 when Benny was going to
See,
the
there it was,
process.
it was $150.
And then they took it down to 45 for whatever reason, that's what we paid.
Because we had rent here already.
Right, so that $45 this is the answer that I got when I asked for it. That $45 was meant for the residents of Montura to be able to participate on the recreation in town.
Yeah.
And we do not have to pay, for example, the baseball
Fields?
Baseball
fee
field, softball, all
higher
that.
than anybody else.
Football, they were talking about bashing our people to death.
So we're
No.
gonna get a benefit as a resident,
I mean,
in order to be able to use the facility.
But I also have to add something though. I also have to add something. I still went through the program out of our pocket. We bought the equipment, we bought everything. And after I bought everything, the board of Central County told me that I have to go myself and buy an insurance policy for me to do that for the kids on Montura.
How's that? Doesn't that umbrella cover us?
Yeah, because they didn't even want to
Our
cover
regulations,
t-shirts
don't
and
we have
stuff.
an umbrella?
Right? When you were at that meeting?
I looked at the policy, but I'm sure
I
we
mean,
do have those.
our umbrella should be.
It's a different board.
That's what
It is a
that's what I
different
said,
board.
that's what I
We're a different
said.
county, but
I went through that problem twice. One was with the baseball that I was putting up, and at that moment I have 68 kids in less than 20 days.
the gentleman for the travelers insurance
So,
was here the other day. so
no,
we need to look
but
into it.
listen this one. My wife was doing a tutoring program with 27 kids in less than a month. And she was shut down because they want her to buy insurance to do that inside the clubhouse.
It's a different board though. You have some information?
Yeah,
you said-
two things. So you mentioned the other day, so I talked to Tommy Vaughn, who's over special districts over that. And I mentioned, can you look into, see if there's a pot of money to do special programming? He's under the impression that they funded YMCA programs out here in the past.
No, we never used YMs, well, I don't know, before 2000.
That was a long time ago.
Well,
So he's
before
gonna look in-
2013, I don't know, but.
So he's gonna look into that. However, the Recreation MSBU pays the city of Coolston $150,000 for the purpose is to allow access to the city's recreational facility programs and services to residents living in the unincorporated areas of the eastern part of the county. That's why there's West Rec, there's East Rec. I think the issue is with East Rec, with the city of Coolston telling us how many residents of Montura and Pioneer and Ladika, if they're using those facilities, can you tell us that? Because when a kid registers for baseball or programs within the city, which the baseball is really an independent board, but anyway, we'd have to look into that. But when they register, they put a 33440 zip code, right? But it doesn't really tell us if they're incorporated or unincorporated. And that's a conversation that we need to have with the city of Clueston to help bring data back to say,
The numbers are there.
you know,
Bubba, myself, we spent 6 months working on this before I left the last time. Had it all put together. Like you said, the fee was gonna be 100, I was thinking 150, but it was gonna be 100. Since we already paid recreation, and that's something that we negotiated, since we already paid it and have it here, we got them to go down. They agreed to go down, but they weren't. The city of Clueston was very adamant about, they were tired of paying the bill for everybody using the fields, the facilities, everything. And that's how that came to be. So again, they were gonna come out here, hold summer camps out here, interchange staff and do all kind of stuff, and
the city
of
supposed to do
Clueston and all that. Yes, we had it all worked out.
Never happened.
No, they came out here and the damn idiots started jumping off the ceiling and they left. Said, "The hell with y'all, we want no part of this place." So they all left here.
With
They wouldn't come back.
that being said, that there's a different board, there's a different time.
The idiots are
Do
still
you think
there.
that we can, do you think we can collaborate so we can have programs? 'Cause we have
Well, we need to
kids
look into that, but remember,
Yes, sir.
the 150,000 has been given to the city of Clueston. That's how that works. My question is, although you say there's a different board, you have a gentleman right there that was very familiar with that program back then.
Yes, sir.
What was the next step you took when they left?
That was it. It was
Did
over.
you just-
We paid the 40 and said, the board said, we're gonna pay the 40, we want no part of them. We don't want them here. That's what the board said. It's gotta be on the record somewhere. We don't want them here. We don't trust them. They're gonna take over our stuff. They're gonna, this craziness that goes on here. They're gonna take over our clubhouse. They're gonna take our stuff from us, and that was it.
But I don't.
Good enough with that.
Yeah, I don't think with our management as well as our board, we have confidence that you're not gonna take over our stuff. We have an attorney to make sure that the legal is right. What I'd like to see as much as possible, because we do pay funding, or is there a way that maybe we can, I hate to say it this way, Randy, but get out of paying that so we can start our own program?
Well, that could possibly be a conversation, but I don't have any control over the city of Clueston. I just know that taxes are collected, the interlocal agreement goes to them, so we're gonna have to kind of dissect it and see what can and cannot be done.
I would like to see us get back to negotiating and getting in, like the agreement we had before. Guys, it was nice. It was nice. We had access to baseball, football, we had access to everything.
Because here's what I'm saying. We live in Hendry County. When our, and a lot of us travel far to go to work. Most people knock off at 5. Baseball practice don't start at 6:37. Most of us in a hurry to get here. Pick up your kids. You got to go 30 minutes into town. You got to spend time there. You got to come back. So again, if we can help our community to bring those programs or start bringing those programs right here, I think it also would help the community to say, hey, we have stuff here. You don't have to drive that way.
There was talk of a baseball team out here to play the Clueston team. They talked about having a team out here that was in conjunction with them that would play.
You referenced they. Who is they?
The commission, there was a board.
The East Rec Board.
No. There was a committee put together, me, I don't remember all the people. There was 5 or 6 of us that were put together to negotiate this. I don't remember how this got started. Someone from the county said, your recreation bill's gonna go up to whatever. It's been a long time. And then we started the process, and then we were put on a committee. Y'all are the committee to work this out. And we work it out. But we're gonna do that out here, oh my God. I agree with him. We can do it again. And I think we ought to do it again. I think we're hurting ourselves by isolating ourselves and being this paranoid bunch of people that doesn't want anybody around. Come on, man, we're part of this.
Very simple on the form.
Yeah.
Circle Montura, Nika, or Clueston. Make a circle. So forget about the zip code, just circle where you live.
Thank you, Raymond. So what can we do for next meeting? Can we get some, can we bring some, make sure we have some more information about that so we can get that ball rolling?
Well, let me do some research on it and see if they can get me the data before.
Yeah, or can we meet that East Rec board? Is there a board?
Don't know.
Yeah, and you could, there was
I think they have like, it's not a actual board, but they have a
committee.
Yeah, they have like
Must have
people in
signed,
charge of it.
the district must have signed
Because
some agreement
Right.
that says what the money's for, where it
No,
is.
no, no.
We never made that.
No, we were told we were paying it no matter what. That's part of your assessment, you're paying it like, we weren't asked, we were told. I negotiated down to $140, whatever it is, from what it was. We weren't asked, we were told that's what we were gonna do.
So I went to Eastern County Recreation twice. Well, one. The other one I went to the Board of Commissioners to ask for it. And it's about YMCA. When I started in the clubhouse, it was really hard to find counselors and head counselors and this and that. So Cookie asked me to put together something with YMCA about prices and this and that. So when I got that, Cookie asked me, if YMCA is gonna do it, maybe the Eastern County Recreation will pay for it. No. We needed to pay $79,000 for 3 months of summer, for 8 weeks of summer camp. That was with YMCA. Now, another thing, when the board, not this board, but, 3 years back, the board decided 20 or a month before the summer camp to cancel the summer camp for free and charge $25 per week, and you have to pay in advance
Per child.
per child, a whole month.
That was the
Right?
fees covered.
So I reached out to Mrs. Swindle, and Mrs. Swindle did take it to the board, and I was there present. And what Mr. Swindle was told was really simple. We do not take Eastern Money Recreation to give back to Montura. Where is their money?
Yeah.
That was the answer.
That's what I was telling
That was the end of it. And I was asking for $15,000 just for the families that couldn't afford $100 a week for one kid.
So that's why we have, again, I have a different mindset than most people. I want to look into this again, and if we have to, we have an attorney as well, say, hey, by the way, if we need that program money as much as possible. We're on the same team. We live in the same community. As Benny mentioned earlier, we're not afraid anybody taking over this place. We work better when we work together.
I want you guys to give you
Yes, sir.
the information that I've been through.
And I'm
Eastern
doing
County Recreation.
the same thing.
And I appreciate what you've done.
I had that fight before, but I couldn't do that.
The thing that you have now that you maybe didn't have then, and I don't know the previous board, but you definitely have our support, and the community will support everything that we're
I
doing.
appreciate it.
And I believe our kids, as a community, we will back those kids and we'll be proud if we could have a Montura baseball team, soccer team, because these young men are out here every night. Lights on or lights off, they're there. So if we can support our kids and our community, it shows us and we'll back them up as well. So let's look into it one more time. I'm pretty sure that we could do something with the board that we have now, with a new commission, as well as 501Cs and special companies that have reached out to me that will help donate. I'm pretty sure we can make something happen as we work together. Thank you. Mr. Gonzalez, do you have anything as a board? Do we have a? Oh, sorry, Josh, I did forget you.
I just have one question.
Cut it out.
For the new committee member, the board members, which was Rolly and Santana, are y'all getting our emails for the reservoir? Are y'all receiving them? Because we've been sending out.
I have emails on my phone from 2018.
Okay, well,
I'm getting everything.
I just want to make sure, because if y'all don't, we get y'all's emails. Every time that something goes on with the reservoir, we mass send out emails so that way everybody's on the same page.
We see it.
If you do get them, just say, okay, give us something, get an idea that we know you got it.
That's what I said. Patty sent out emails. I saw the Hornets. Hornets, right? Yeah, Hornets. So I saw them.
Set them on fire, burn them up.
David, you got a few seconds.
That could be the Montura baseball team name, the Montura Hornets.
Simple. One of the next meetings, I do want to talk to you guys again about having code enforcement come out, talk to your employees and what we're looking for to kind of get some more eyes. Like you said, code enforcement's probably out here. It's very hard to get, up and down every street. So we want to come in and talk to you guys about coming in on what we're looking for and stuff like that.
So you want to work with our employees?
Yeah, I want to work with you guys.
That's what we want, yes.
Man, we're gonna. So that means
Basically,
One thing-
it's basically what we're doing.
I wanted, one thing I want to ask everyone.
Not that you guys are officially reporting, but like, you got a guy that's going down up the road, sitting down the road mowing. Why can't he say, oh,
Yes.
you know, but I also, but on the same token, we don't want a bunch of, what happened, I guess, years ago, it was tried before, and we got called for an ugly house. We can't fix an ugly house. We can't.
They need to understand, you need to go sit with them. and
What we're
explain.
looking for.
Yes, sir. And they understand what you're looking for.
And we might do it to Raymond for a nominal fee. Right, Benny? For a nominal fee.
We gonna do some horse trading.
1.6 million. Make it happen.
Well, say, he already paid that tab, so.
Thank you for bringing that up.
But that's a good idea, I like the idea, because the more things we do together, the better this gets.
One thing I want to ask you is gonna be.
Yes.
I think I put some residents here in the clubhouse, while I'm here in the clubhouse. I don't know if you can witness to it. When are we going to the table to play dominoes, play chess, play checker, whatever?
We can look into that, yeah, we can buy some.
Many different presidents have asked me.
That's part of the clubhouse committee.
Yeah.
That's where we talked about. And, sorry to interrupt and interject, but board, there's pages that I need you guys to fill out for the bank for the signature card, please. And I need your IDs. The board.
And social security and bank account.
Thank you.
Can I get a transfer of these 1.6?
Sure. Can I get a motion on the floor to adjourn the meeting?
Again.
All in favor?